for the first time since week 1. And Kyle Conrady, as well a 3-time Big 12 Special Teams Player of the Week, is always a threat once the offense crosses midfield. After winning the toss and deferring, the Cyclones kick it away. Jaron Hamilton trapped inside his 10 as 2 penalty markers rain down. See if Jack Limbaugh's special teams tackle stands here, holding the initial indication from a referee.
Holding, number 21. Return team, half the distance to the goal line. First down.
So the Sun Devils, who are bound and determined to start faster after falling way behind against opponents like TCU and last week Houston, backed all the way up for Jeff Sims' 3rd start as a Sun Devil. They've all come on the road.
Yeah, Bridget talked about the adversity he faced. Well, starting backed up in the shadow of your own end zone, getting ready to go against this incredible Iowa State defensive front, led by the big citrus, Dominique Orange. Going to be a tall task as they get started today.
A senior defensive lineman from Kansas City right there in the middle against the 6-year senior, 23 years of age, throws down the line. A little bit of breathing room up near the 10-yard line. Again, no Jordan Tyson, one of the nation's best receivers, missing again this week with a hamstring injury. So we'll see a lot of the likes of Jaron Hamilton and Jalen Moss. Malik McClain had a huge day, a career week last week at home in that comeback bid. Gain of 4 now out of the pistol for 2nd down 6. We expect a lot of QB run. They cave down that right side. And this is where Sims can be special. Caleb Bacon wraps up a tackle. It's 14 yards on the turf.
A great escort on the perimeter. The pulling left tackle, Josh Atkins out in space, flattening cornerbacks. And you mentioned Sims, big body, all 6'4", 220. But I think as agile as what we got used to from Sam Levitt. When that big body comes rolling downhill, look out.
His last win as a starter, October of 22. He was with Georgia Tech back then. Raleigh Brown, 2nd in the conference in rushing behind BYU's L.J. Martin, collects 3.
We know in this matchup, the Big 12 championship last year, Cam Scattaboo was beginning the fairy tale story that ran through the playoff. Raleigh Brown is an impressive player. Maybe not the hammerhead downhill, but as slippery as any back. You're hardly going to see the first tackler ever get him down in the whole or in space.
And Kyson Brown still out, so we'll see a lot of Raleigh. Maybe a little bit of Demarius Robinson as well. Cameron Harpole, a tight end, in motion at the snap. And another run. This one repelled, crunched at the line of scrimmage. A yard, if anything. It's 3rd down upcoming.
I like my bacon crispy. They like their bacon in the middle of the hole making plays. Caleb Bacon, one of the captains on this team, tracking over the top and making me eat my words right away. Raleigh Brown in the hole. He said, I got no issues, brother.
John Haycock, defensive coordinator, could not say enough about Bacon being voted captain unanimously after missing all of last season. 5 to go on 3rd down. Opening possession of the game, Jeff Sims in empty. Design QB run, and the Cyclones had it all the way with Cooper Ebel doing his homework, a loss of 2.
Had 4 receivers out to the side to try and clear out the box, and he just beat the pulling guard to the point of attack. You had Maxie Honachort looked like actually coming from tackle for the trap, but the timing just off on that play, and so a free hit for Ebel up front on the first punt of the day for Arizona State.
Special teams has been an issue for ASU. They get their first punt away with Kenyon Floyd, who's feeling better. The up man takes it with the fair catch and phenomenal starting field position just below the 40-yard line for Rocco Betts. Coaching staff told us this week he hates to lose far more than he loves to win, so it's been a long wait for his next victory.
35 straight starts, a conference full of great quarterbacks, one of the most experienced, multiple 3,000-yard passing seasons, and trying to dial back in on the little things after a 3-interception day and a loss. Come back home, play clean football, handing it off to Carson Hansen in the backfield, probably a good way to help you out with that early and often.
They've got a nasty 1-2 punch with Abu Sama as well. Questionable for today's game, but went through the warm-up. We'll monitor how much we see Sama. But this feels like a Carson Hansen type game. They feed him with the first. Look at that knockback. Right through the alley and into ASU territory. Javen Robinson kept it out of the end zone, but off a career day, Hansen hits a big one early.
Power eye straight down the middle of this defense. Arizona State likes to get upfield and make plays, but Iowa State resetting the line of scrimmage up front. Jim Boniface, one of the leaders of this team at center, clearing lanes up to the second level. A great start for the Cyclones.
Offensive coordinator Taylor Mauser told us that Carson's a corn-fed Minnesota wing T guy who will run through your soul. There's a vacancy in the soul of this defense on the first rep. Backed on the perimeter. Tough angle to throw, although Hansen's also a great receiver. He's got at least a catch in 9 straight games. Keyshawn Elliott providing the pressure behind the line.
And that versatility, the key to this entire Iowa State outfit on offense. We haven't even talked about this robust tight end room. Benjamin Brahmer, Gabe Burkle, all these guys have pass catching ability and blocking ability up front. So every play you get to see that chess match for offensive coordinator Taylor Mauser.
If you love tight end play, you've come to the right place. These two programs run more multiple tight end sets than any team in college football. A direct snap to Hansen here, and he's wrapped up by Justin Watley, a gain of 3.
For most teams, direct snaps to the running back, they're specialty plays. It's 2-point plays. It's 4th and 1. For Iowa State, it's just a day that ends in Y. This is a steady diet of their offense and another wrinkle that you've got to account for defensively.
This offensive line with 145 combined career starts, and adding to that total today. Sun Devils creeping. 6-man front as they fall out. Beck sets the laces, drives one to the sticks, and this has been a sore spot. Chased so well in the Cyclones, have stalled out on offense during this 3-game losing streak with drops.
And a great pickup up front, pressure by the offensive line and running backs, and then just a straight up drop. It's a cold day. There was a little bit of rain this morning, but you got to look it in and be able to close the deal. Try and end drives with touchdowns and not the attempted field goal we'll have here.
So you get an early look at Conradi, and this is a big deal because the offense reportedly pressing without him, whereas they knew once they crossed into opponent territory, they would have 3 in their pocket. 7 for 9 inside of 50 this year. It's drifting and a light breeze, and it's no good. Iowa State comes away empty on its first possession that started with so much promise.
Fanapt iloperidone is approved for adults with bipolar 1 disorder with acute, mixed or manic episodes. Unlike some drugs for bipolar 1 disorder, nausea, vomiting and restlessness are not common with Fanapt. Fanapt may be associated with serious side effects. Elderly patients with dementia-related psychosis treated with antipsychotics are at increased risk of stroke or death. Fanapt is not approved for elderly with dementia-related psychosis. Fanapt prolongs the QT interval and may be associated with abnormal heart rhythm or sudden death. In 5% or more of people in clinical trials, heart rate increases, dizziness, hypotension, weight gain, dry mouth, stuffy nose, sleepiness, and increases in liver enzymes have been observed. These are not all the side effects. Talk to your prescriber and learn more at fanapt.com. By Vanda Pharmaceuticals.
Hall of Fame College Series getting ready to tip off in Vegas. A doubleheader. College basketball is here.
Florida, your national champions.
Boy, Arizona's feeling it.
Has one fly, take flight and touch the sky.
Oh! AJ DeVos is the most hyped player in this class.
An elite performance by Villanova.
A brand new college basketball season.
The Hall of Fame College Series.
Lighten up the night here in Vegas.
Big 12 college football on TNT Sports is presented by Modelo, the official beer of the college football playoff. And by Progressive, get coverage you can count on with home and auto at progressive.com. The Pumpkinville Corn Maze just celebrated its 30th year, welcoming thousands of visitors every fall. It spreads across 20 acres in Mitchellville, about 30 miles from here, the largest corn maze in the state of Iowa. It takes about an hour or 2 to complete, but Golick did it in 75 minutes strong.
It's a lot easier because I wasn't distracted trying to eat corn.
Post-harvest helps you out.
Big time.
Second drive for Sims. And a flag comes in after a missed field goal from Iowa State to begin this Week 10 contest, the second meeting in 12 months and all time between these programs. Michael Vanderveld's our referee.
Holding, number 59. Offense, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Makai Stewart stepped in for Atkins a little bit at left tackle last week. Get a look at the action out on the perimeter.
Yeah, it looks like they ticky-tack at best based on what we saw there, but going to be the challenge when you're going more QB run like we expect today with Sims at the helm.
They move his launch point, in trouble as he checks it down and incomplete. This is an offense that has scored fewer than 20 points in 2 of their last 3 games, both of them losses, and now without one of the great quarterback receiver tandems in the sport.
They're a big play waiting to happen so much of this season, Sam Levitt and Jordan Tyson, and so you're trying to manufacture some of that chemistry on the fly and more live reps. I expect them to keep trying to get on the edges, though, test the defensive backfield for Iowa State that we know suffered a bunch of injuries of its own.
Tyson watching from the sideline. Sims, a top 5 portal quarterback about 2 years ago, able to spot his tight end above the 25-yard line and struggling for more. Shimon Mateer, who scored a 21-yard touchdown from Levitt last week and had it wiped off the board due to one of those pre-snap penalties.
Double-edge pressure up front, so got to identify and find his target. Tight end been a staple for both these teams. And Sims already taken some big shots. He's going to get tested by this linebacker group, who's an active part of that pass rush for John Haycock's defense.
Bacon making him feel his presence before 3rd down and 14. Bundled up on a 40-degree day here in Ames. Cyclones drop 8 into coverage. Sims takes off and now whistles one. Tip drill out of bounds and incomplete.
And apologies, JB, but I think this is what the plan's going to be most of the day. This 3-3-5 defense wants to put bodies in space. John Haycock always has an incredibly well-coached unit, so it's going to be incumbent on Jeff Sims to get outside and try and see if he can bend the defense with the threat of his run. That time just not able to link up with that pass on the fly, but going to be one of those areas I think is a key for them today.
And so Floyd will put it away to Aiden Flora. We'll mention that special teams coordinator Charlie Regal is taking a leave of absence. And so this squirts above the 40, but not even to midfield. And the Sun Devils pounce on it. They think that might have touched a Cyclone. Right in front of Kenny Dillingham, who was coached in high school by Regal. Jack Nudo stepping into that role starting this week.
There was no touch by the receiving team. Ball goes over, first down, Iowa State.
Which is
timeout.
A callback to last week where a similar play really cost Iowa State.
We saw a rash of those around college football. This one all started just the snap not handled clean by Floyd. See right here, clean coming back, looks it all the way in and just can't quite get a hold of it. Does enough just to get it off without it getting fully blocked backwards, but once it goes past the line of scrimmage, normal punt protocol if it doesn't touch the opposing team. And down here, but still, while you missed out on maybe the block for a touchdown, great opportunity in plus territory and shot territory right here across the 50.
Rocco Becht making an adjustment from the shotgun. At the mesh point, he gives Hansen for a couple and a flag right at the point of attack. One of the least penalized programs in college football for many years running, and again here in 2025. But during this 3-game losing streak, more than Ames has come to expect.
Number 18, offense, 10-yard penalty, Still first down.
It's the junior tight end Ben Bramer competing on the run surface.
And this is an Arizona State defensive front that's going to challenge you in that regard. One of the best teams in college football in terms of making plays behind the line of scrimmage. Third in the Big 12 in sacks, third in the Big 12 in tackles for loss. You saw CJ fight in there. Sean Elliott, part of this great linebacker duo with him and Jordan Crook that are really the heartbeat and the leading tacklers on this defense. Downhill and active players.
Carson Brown, the motion man. Part of the pattern for Becht. He rips the seam, and that's caught for first down yardage at the 30 of ASU. Bramer quickly making amends with 24 from Becht.
Getting to the line quick here, but you're going to see Bramer over on the left-hand side. And you mentioned it, 3 deep, finds the seam, and a great pitch and catch with this quarterback. Those long arms get put to work.
Another inbreaker from the left side. This one belongs to Brown, who last week against BYU had a couple of catches. His first grab since way back in week 3. Gains 13 and refreshes the first down.
Ball getting spread around to these pass catchers. Iowa State, one of 6 FBS schools with at least 5 players with over 225 receiving yards. So we talked about the loss of NFL talent, maybe a little Ewing theory. Never sure where the ball is going to spread in this offense.
That's spreading the wealth. Will hand off here. A run down the middle. Tripped up by Watley. All Hansen so far. No Abusama yet.
This is where you got to keep your eyes peeled on defense. I'm sure Brian Ward had the coaching point all week. You saw zone read there from Rocco Becht, who's got 18 career rushing touchdowns of his own. One behind Brock Purdy here in Ames. And down in the low red zone is especially where they like to bring him into the designed run game. We saw a well-built guy ready to take some hits in the middle.
Tyler Moore, part of a 2-back set. Orbit motion at the snap. They stick with the ground game. And it's bottled up nicely by the Sun Devils to set up third down at the 7-minute mark. There's a look at Mauser, who just moonlights in football. He's more of a hockey guy.
Unbelievable dad background in minor league hockey, and boy, was it evident in our meeting with him. Incredible, plays in a beer league, hockey league around here, and brings a great energy to these guys. Knows how much the players on his offense care and trying to get them to relax and play free.
3rd and 6 left in the red zone. Back sets up the screen. Hansen, great play in space. Javen Robinson shuts it down, and it's 4th down.
We see the kicking team coming out. Just a great individual effort. You fake the run over to the right and roll back, try and get the free pass to Carson Hansen, but Javen Robinson, who had a phenomenal game in that Big 12 championship game a year ago, once again making his presence felt early. Just a great read on that play and discipline on the backside.
So Connor already just missed from 49. This will be shorter from the left hash. It's 30. For the first points of week 10. And this one he nails. So Campbell and company on the board first in a rematch of last year's Big 12 championship game.
Perfect present, the perfect place is your local Ace. This Christmas, get free assembly and delivery on your new grill at Ace. Around the block, what you need in stock with service so good.
It's NBA Cup.
I'm gonna get that.
30 teams, 6 groups, nowhere to hide. The hungriest will advance. The rest will be left behind.
Now this is high-stakes action.
Everyone wants that cup.
But only one will capture it.
Are you kidding me? You ever just look at them and think, yeah, I'm doing all right.
Get double points this fall at Best Western.
A superior smooth taste worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer.
There's something bad here in Derry. Don't ever stop.
One way to summarize last year's conference championship game is that the Sun Devils had Cam Scadaboo and the Cyclones did not. It was so tough to see his season-ending injury last week in Philadelphia. Sam Levitt with 3 passing touchdowns in the third quarter as ASU pulled away 45-19. Again, not many remnants of those rosters, especially those who scored, left in this year's 2025 rematch. And it was ASU's first Big 12 title as they go from the bottom of the league to the top under Kenny Dillingham. And one of the backdrops, I think, of this game is 2 highly coveted coaches as the carousel starts to turn, Mike, who have great reasons to stay put, and probably some seekers who will try to give them every reason to pick up stakes. There's Jaron Hamilton on the return. Let's go down and see what Bridget has to add to that Big 12 championship picture.
Yeah, guys, well, members from both Arizona State and Iowa State obviously acknowledged the added emotion that will be in this game today, given the history from last year. Iowa State offensive coordinator Taylor Mauser said he saved confetti from the celebration last year and literally looks at it every day in his office as a reminder. He told us, I hope the guys can go in there today and be sour. They took something from us last year. I want them to be salty and be nasty. As for Arizona State, they're fully aware that Iowa State has circled this matchup since they released the schedules last year. Malik McLean said, I know for a fact they're coming in with vengeance.
Taylor's from Chandler, Arizona, too, so close to home. This new rivalry hits. Jeff Sims for a few. In fact, Mauser's still keeping an eye on the prep scene. He played at Basha High School, where he tried his hand at linebacker, kicker, defensive end, tight end. He didn't take the recent loss to Hamilton too well, paying attention from afar.
The glory days are never far behind. Nothing better than keeping tabs in the old high school. Shout out to Northwest Catholic back in Connecticut. Having a great season so far. Mike Glenn's doing a fantastic job.
Marcus Arroyo, offensive coordinator for these Sun Devils. One of the reasons why Jeff Sims opted not to go back in the portal once, Levitt's prowess was clear. To find himself in 3rd and long again as Zamir Hawk wraps up a tackle.
This defense playing up near the line of scrimmage, trying to force the offensive line to make quick decisions. Wade Helton manning down the forward at center. We know they've been trying to find the answer since Ben Coleman's absence in that spot. Big 3rd down. Too many obvious situations for Jeff Sims early. The early rushing calls, the aggression by this defense leading some tough passing situations.
ASU's been brutal on 3rd down this season, though they have been great on 4th down. From the pocket, dealing middle, and he hits. A 3rd down conversion to Shimon Mateer for 15 yards.
Great job once again. Awesome pickup in the back here. Watch Raleek Brown, a great part involved in this pass protection scene. For all the great things he does as a running back, adept receiver out of the backfield, incredibly slippery player in the open field. I think his involvement in their pass protection has been impressive as any back we've watched in the Big 12 this year.
Sheldon Davis, our umpire there, with some mobility to duck underneath that fastball as well.
Won't it?
Pitch back, little flea flicker here. Some spinning one, and a tough catch made by McLean. Last week he had the most receiving yards by any ASU player this season, all from Levitt. This goes for 21.
Incredible job going low. Talk about the catch radius all the time. Got the timing there, slow off the line, turns up the gas, and then gets his hands underneath and is able to pull the ball out on the other side as he's going to survive the ground.
Career high 159 without Tyson in the formation last week. 3rd drive and the best drive so far for Arizona State, and this is what they want. Sims downhill in their running game.
Great look, a design run for him. You're going to see the fake toss to the running back, Raleek, and then the puller coming around, leading up for the quarterback. All that play designed to try and see if you can get one of those linebackers to plus out just a little bit with a running back that we know is a dynamic threat.
Big 77, Kyle Scott has been a constant at right guard for a suffering, wounded offensive line. Playing in front of Jeff Sims. Deepest drive of the day for the Sun Devils as the sun breaks through here in Ames, and Raleek Brown around the right side for 8.
They're not the same player, but wow, does Raleek remind me a lot of Bucky Irvin at the point of attack during his last year at Oregon. They're such smooth runners, and again, you get one guy in space looking downhill at them, and they end up hugging mist. They're so hard to stay in front of.
See the rushing total. He's leading the conference in all-purpose yards per game, 3rd in yards per carry. A junior from Stockton, California, offset right. Sims drifting, throwing. That should bring a flag. It does. Mateer off some misdirection, had Caleb Bacon in conflict.
Had him in man coverage, faked the quarterback run, and got him grabbing in the secondary.
Pass interference, number 26. Defense, spot foul, automatic, 1st down.
And this becomes a really interesting area of the field with Shimon Mateer being involved, because you look at where the receiving touchdowns have come this year for Arizona State. It's been the tight end room with Harpole and Mateer, and then Jordan Tyson, and that's it. They're the only ones that have caught touchdown passes. Easy call right there, man coverage. We've seen Sims go to him a couple of times early. One of the guys he's close with on this roster. Expect to see him fed early and often today.
Red zone opportunity for 6-year quarterback Jeff Sims with lead blockers. Stacked up and twisting off Cyclones below the 5. Now I asked Kenny Dillingham this week if he relishes the challenge of finding a way to solve the puzzle. And part of it was we've seen him go to the Rose Bowl and beat UCLA shorthanded as he was several years ago. Is this the type of challenge that he relishes? And he said, when you've got the guys, when you've got the better players, the goal is not to coach, to let the players go win. This week, maybe a bit more tinkering for him and his staff.
But I think that's still meeting the players where they are, understanding the unique challenges that Jeff Sims and his body type can afford a defense, especially down in this area of the field.
2nd and goal. This is the quarterback, Jeff Sims to pay dirt. Flag down, back at the 5.
And some chatter between the big Citrus and Raleek Brown, both having a go at it right now. A little size discrepancy in that tail of the tape, but 2 phenomenal players. We'll see what this flag is.
I've got 325 against 195.
Offense, 10-yard penalty. Still 1st down, 2nd down.
Maxi Honachor here.
Unfortunate penalty there. We saw the athleticism we just discussed with Sims on display. So big, you've got to bring your pads to hit him downhill, but right there, put his foot in the ground and able to get to the perimeter with such ease. Bit of a high snap there, zone read, and you see a Honachor coming around from left to right at the point of attack, and it seems to be right there where that grab on the jersey is. Tough to tell from that angle, but either way, backing them up for 2nd down.
Now you mentioned Brown jawing at the home team. He was still over at the left numbers with his offense in formation. You saw him go screaming off the field. Tempers flaring with Arizona State in the red zone.
There's something bad here.
He did tell me he'd been seeing weird stuff before he disappeared.
The sewers. Below Derek. That's where it lives.
Don't ever stop.
Welcome to Ashley's Black Friday mattress event. Get a free adjustable base with select mattress purchases designed to elevate your comfort and sleep experience. Plus, you can snooze now and pay later with 0% interest for 72 months. Ashley's Black Friday mattress event. Don't miss it.
Wildly entertaining and unpredictable Big 12 has a champion to crown, and AT&T Stadium is where we're going to decide it.
Into the corner, touchdown.
Join us as Food Network revisits the world of Harry Potter. 8 new teams of baking wizards compete to create the most magical and incredible sweet showpieces. inspired by the legendary stories. Is that me? No, it's me.
Season premiere Harry Potter Wizards of Baking tomorrow night at 8 on Food Network. See next day on HBO Max.
You want energy? This is the place to be. Let's get her going!
First couple months of the season, there's a lot of expectations.
Go to work! Steve! Pick it up!
You got to be dialed in. Feel good, get confident. It's go, go, go. Sets up the tone for the rest of the year.
The pace up!
NHL on TNT.
This is what it's all about.
Here we go!
Welcome back to Ames. Let's take a look at the holding. I want you to watch both tackles, left tackle Josh Atkins and right tackle Maxi Honachor, coming around from right to left at the point of attack, and you're going to see that little bit of hold on the jersey by both of these guys in the perimeter. The quarterback breaks contain, and so sometimes it's tough. You're blocking for a play going up the middle, and that grab there coming off the framework of the body, an easy call for the official backed up behind them.
It takes the Sun Devils into 2nd and goal from the 12. The timeout did allow them to put Raleigh Brown, their starting running back in the formation. He's isolated left. Flag soars at the snap, and this play is whistled dead. Did ASU just have another touchdown taken away? It's news to Jalen Moss.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 7, offense, 5-yard penalty, second down.
Mentioned Mateer had one taken off the board due to a pre-snap penalty last week against Houston. Now he's the one guilty of the infraction.
And for both of these teams, right, the stretches they've been on where the season's gotten away from them a little bit, it's mistakes like this that have popped up early for both teams so far in this game. Watch him on the left side here, just a subtle flinch as he's involved in the pass protection. So different than being a guy going out to catch a pass. Now all of a sudden, one-on-one there. Got to hold your water.
Jack Trice Stadium making its presence felt. Here comes the blitz. Tipped up in the air and nearly intercepted. Jeff Sims turnover free so far as a Sun Devil, and ASU hasn't had a pick since 7 games ago.
Batted ball, and honestly, I think Sims got lucky that this was batted. He was looking out at Shimon Mateer, who had slipped. This field cold, a little wet from this morning when some rain fell, and Bridget told us before the game some guys had trouble with their footing, and you saw Mateer slip, so that ball would have been going right at an Iowa State defender.
Cooper Ebel was phenomenal last week against BYU, gets a PBU here. 1:02 left in the first. Long and goal series for ASU, and a screen in the dirt. They'll bring their field goal unit on to try and tie the game in the last minute of the opening stanza.
Such a shame you couldn't get that out there. We talked about Raleigh Brown and how deadly he is in space, and he had the cavalry in front of him on the left side. That whole line of scrimmage been reset outside that left hash. Just couldn't link up, and now their chance right from dead center.
Jesus Gomez, who missed a couple of last week, but one was off a bad snap, leading ASU to change long snappers to go to Tyler Wigglesworth. The lefty now from 35 on the road. And he stripes it. 3 up in Ames in a rematch, the Big 12 championship game. Arizona State and Iowa State tied with bowl eligibility on the line. We invite you to watch MLB legends and stars tee off in the inaugural Capital One MLB Open at Shadow Creek. It's November 18th at 9:30 p.m. Eastern on TNT and HBO Max. Go to MLB.com/golf for more details. You mentioned that morning rain, a little mist now in the afternoon as well. But the mistakes that you highlighted earlier, I think from the Cyclone standpoint, it was the drop and a missed field goal, and now knocked off the doorstep Arizona State with some self-inflicted injuries.
We had heard a prior staff this season refer to these as 4-point plays, plays that take 7 off the board and have you kicking for 3. And for both the teams in this game, Iowa State especially, we talked about them missing their kicker in the open a little bit. This is a team that understands it's got to shorten the game. It's got to play ball control football. It's got to play incredible complementary football. All those little moments start to add up as the game goes along. Both sides putting a couple of coins in the swear jar early.
Carson Kiefer is going to kick it up. and send it away to Xavier Townsend and Aiden Flora. This is Flora with a running start, buried at the 28. Let's see a bit of Florida today in the backfield. A walk-on with 10.6 speed, a freshman for Iowa State. Get away gingerly there after that hit on the kick return. Back-to-back, two so far is 3 for 5. One of those incompletions, a drop, 38 yards through the air.
Already got his big tight end, Benjamin Brahmer, involved, the team leader in receptions, coming off a career high with 75 yards in that loss to BYU. But Gabe Burkle, certainly no one's second place. This is a deep room of big body pass catchers.
Cyclones spread out from empty, bouncing in the pocket. Rocco takes off. And hits the sideline at the 35-yard line with a shove from Jordan Crook. As injury depleted as the Sun Devils are, Crook and Keyshawn Elliott, their linebackers, have been a bright spot for Brian Ward.
Two team leaders in tackles, and this defense we mentioned, they get back behind the line of scrimmage, top 25 in sacks, top 25 in tackles for loss, but second lowest blitz rate in FBS. They don't bring extra bodies a lot. They rely on these guys to make plays within the body of this defense.
Final seconds of the first. St. Hansen, some nifty feet. He's close to the line to gain. Last week became the 5th Cyclone to rush for 150 in the Campbell era. Possession with his tailback, Carson Hansen. He's carried 5 times for 38 yards so far. There goes Tyler Moore in motion. The State staying stubborn with their run to the 42-yard line.
This is going to be the interesting challenge all day long for Brian Ward's defense. What do you do as Iowa State puts all these tight ends and big bodies on the field? Do you match personnel, in which case they can spread you out and start to throw the ball? Or do you try and have your nickel defenders, those defensive back bodies down in the box at the point of attack, having to take on big blockers and make plays at point?
Now Bramer relocates to a 2-by-2 set. Drop back game. Great protection. Incomplete. Up and over the shoulder of Chase Sowell. Running that deep over.
And looked like just a miss in the pocket. A little pressure around him, but this ball high and behind Sowell. And play set up perfectly there as you see Brian Ward in the box, defensive coordinator for Arizona State, trying to eliminate some of those holes in the back end. Guys like Boogie Wilson having to step up with no Xavier Alford this year.
And he's yet to play a league game. Again to the air. Rocco Betts hit as he throws. Finds Bramer. A flag comes in as he approaches the line to gain. Penalty marker back in the pocket. Thrown by our referee.
And you're seeing Rocco pointing the other way. Wonder if the hands to
Personal
the face.
Foul, roughing the passer, number 3. Defense, 15 yards will be added to the end of the run. Automatic first down.
It said 3. That'd be Albert Smith, who's replacing Prince Dorba. There he is.
And you see getting those hands up in the passing lane tough. You're going full speed. I have a lot of sympathy for these combat penalties for defensive linemen trying to make a play, trying to tip the ball. And when you're going full speed, sometimes that follow through leaks. No, you can't hit the helmet of the quarterback. I understand the game we play. That's a hard one. And most coaches aren't going to come down on you too hard after that because they understand those are a product of playing at 100 miles an hour the way you want.
See how bad Kenny Dillingham wants this one. He was adamant to us that if his team runs the table, they can still make it to Arlington. Sprint draw, Abu Sama. Tornadic to the 25. The junior from Des Moines, spelling Carson Hansen.
Much more known for the big playability. 6 career runs of over 50 yards, but here showing a Hansen-like toughness on the ground.
Now the play fake. Wings one to the end zone. Incomplete. There's the flag. As Carson Brown got vertical to the end zone.
That run-pass option challenging Keith Abney,
Pass
another veteran
number
defender.
1. Defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Yeah, 3 picks last season, including a big one against Rocco Becht in the Big 12 championship.
See that ISO clean off the line, stacks him at the point of attack, and then gets a little handsy trying to play through the back of the defender. And You know that reflex is to throw the hands up. It almost draws more attention to you. I say that it's someone that may have held semi-frequently back in the day.
Look at the penalty story already. 6 for 60 against ASU. Dylan Lee making an appearance in the Cyclones' backfield. Design run for Betts. Knocked off his feet at the 7. Now, the red zone stats will tell you that the Cyclones haven't been great down here. And, you know, maybe to their standard they haven't been. Beck in particular trying to clean up some red zone turnovers. But of their 10 empty trips, it's worth noting that 4 have been in victory formation, including a couple at the 1-yard line. So this is an area of strength for Campbell.
And speaking of strength, they got 3 tight ends on the field now, getting even stronger. Make that 4 with Tyler Moore in the backfield as the fullback.
Fake the toss, sprint out. Rocco Becht, exhausting his progression, turns it up and punches it in. '19th career rushing touchdown for Rocco Becht to tie Brock Purdy.
I love this play call with a mobile quarterback in the red zone. Get him on the perimeter. Let him control the decision-making in this scenario. A bunch of big bodies as potential targets that when he pulls the trigger immediately turn into big blockers in the open field, paving the way for that Cyclones touchdown.
It's an 8-play, 71-yard march going this direction right after Arizona State failed in the red zone and had to settle for 3. The Cyclones recapture the lead. 8th rushing score of this season for the junior from Wesley Chapel, Florida. Rocco Becht trying to snap the streak on his home field in Ames.
Ponvory is approved for the treatment of relapsing forms of multiple sclerosis in adults. Ponvory lowers the number of white blood cells, lymphocytes, in your blood. Usually, this will return to normal within 1 to 2 weeks of stopping treatment. Ponvory can increase your risk of serious infections that can be life-threatening and may cause death. Ponvory can cause your heart rate to slow down, especially after you take your first dose. Do not take Ponvory if in the last 6 months you had a heart attack, unstable angina, stroke, or other severe heart conditions, including certain types of abnormal heart rhythm. The most common side effects of Ponvory include upper respiratory tract infections, elevated liver enzymes, and high blood pressure. Starting treatment with Ponvory will begin with the starter pack. Ask your doctor about Ponvory or visit ponvory.com to learn more. By Vanda Pharmaceuticals.
Loggers are the backbone of America. They risk their lives every day. But why? Because it's in their blood. The Last Woodsman, new season, premieres Friday, November 14th on Discovery.
Here we go, baby, here we go. This is the Big 12, where 16 teams battle in a new era of college football. From the Rocky Mountains to Florida, TNT Sports uncovers the untold stories of these programs. Let's move with it. Big 12 Uncovered reveals the sweat, the swagger, and the dreams. Every Saturday, take a behind-the-scenes journey with a different program in one of the nation's toughest conferences.
We play on TNT.
Big 12 Uncovered, Saturday on TNT.
Rocco Becht with a career-high 3 interceptions last week against BYU. 4 picks in the last couple of losses for his Cyclones, guiding a 71-yard touchdown drive and cashing in from the 7.
Keep an eye on big Gabe Burkle on the backside of this play. He's going to be coming over on the route, but then at the point of attack, when Rocco Becht gets out to the perimeter, he's got the 2-way go. He sees it, and Burkle just gets in front of the defender for a split second, walls him off, and gives Becht the opportunity to put his head down and get to the goal line.
I mentioned with that, he matches Brock Purdy's school record of 19 rushing touchdowns. Got 58 career touchdown passes as well. Still a good 24 behind Purdy. And we talked with Campbell this week about how valuable it was for Brock to have a full career of college football here, how that prepared him to be Mr. Irrelevant and a near MVP. Jaron Hamilton flagged down at the 21, and another penalty marker down on a special teams play.
The initial look appears to be holding yet again. You mentioned it, the Sun Devils just can't get out of their own way right now with some of the laundry.
During the return, holding number 45, return team, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Their 7th today after 12 for 76 yards last week.
All right, so another drive backed up similar to the first drive of the day for Jeff Sims. And I think for this offense, Marcus Arroyo, they got to give Jeff Sims a chance to put the ball in the air earlier in these drives. They've made big plays in the run. You know that's going to be the bread and butter. But John Haycock's got this defense down near the line of scrimmage. There's not a lot of respect for that deep passing attack that's such a big part with Levitt in the game usually.
Take the handoff to Raleek Brown. Hit the tight end in the flats. Mateer with authority to the 25. Took Caleb Bacon for a ride.
Gave him that stutter at the point of attack and then just put his head down. Arizona State going with what we saw from Iowa State down in the goal line. Get your athletic quarterback on the perimeter and get a nice first down to start the drive.
After a gain of 14, Mateer gives way to Cameron Harpole, the new tight end there attached left, in a 3-receiver set. Get an access throw to last week's star, Malik McClain, who made one miss and takes it into Iowa State territory. 28 more from Malik McClain.
Great recognition by Sims. You're going to see, looked like a cornerback blitz from this side. Replaces where the pressure's coming from. The rotations late coming over, and then a great play run after catch by McClain.
Before last week, he had 6 receptions for 51 yards, 7 for 159 against Houston alone, and he's at it again here. Another drive into plus territory for Sims. Stands up to throw, drives one, cuts! Moss inside the 10. Another seldom used weapon for Arizona State, stepping into greater opportunity.
And another play where we see them use the threat of Jeff Sims as a runner. He's got the ball tucked away. And the same play that drew the flag down in the red zone for Shimon Mateer a couple drives ago now produces the big play that gets them down on the doorstep.
Finding his friends, right? The coaching staff told us he's likely to use the people he hangs out with. Malik, Shimon, Jalen, they all have catches on this drive. The most recent for 38 yards. Now Sims goes to work, and he answers with a QB rushing touchdown of his own.
Well, they faked the fake on that one. We saw them go for the play action sell before, and they just decided to let their big 220-pound quarterback go. But watch Raleek Brown with the lead on this play at the point of attack. A guy we talked about doing a great job in the pass protection game, but hunting contact here at the point of attack. Yeah, he puts his body on the line and gets laid out a little bit, but that willingness to go and put your face in the fan helps spring his quarterback for 6.
Gomez stays perfect on the season with his extra points. It was a 7-yard rushing touchdown for Rocco Becht. Jeff Sims, 88 yards the other way, and he caps it with an 8-yard rushing touchdown of his own. Yeah, Jordan Tyson, a spectator today, celebrating a tie score.
I'm like so starstruck.
I know. He's so much taller in person.
I'm struggling with his proportions.
Yeah, because you're taking too long. You know, one time I filed a claim in under 2 minutes on the Geico app. Little to the right, G? Yeah. If they can work wonders that fast, why can't I? Voila.
Spitting image.
Show off.
What was that?
Get more than just savings. Get more with Geico.
For the perfect present, the perfect place is your local Ace. This Christmas, get free assembly and delivery on your new grill at Ace. Around the block, what you need in stock, with service so good it's guaranteed.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware.
So what's got you down today, sir?
I can't see anything.
Have you tried just moving your hands away from your eyes?
I can see.
I don't know what that is.
Friends. New episodes Sundays at 11:30 p.m. on Adult Swim. Next day on HBO Max.
Before the big race on the weekend, buckle up for NASCAR's high-octane prelude. Every week, True TV and HBO Max will bring you exclusive Cup Series practice and qualifying for the remainder of the season. See how teams tweak their rides to perfection in practice, then go all out in qualifying to try and lock in a front row spot on the starting grid.
You gotta earn everything in NASCAR.
It's the competition before the race, setting the stage for victory lane. NASCAR practices and qualifying, only on True TV and HBO Max.
The road to March starts in Vegas with the Hall of Fame series. Arizona, Florida, Villanova, and BYU. We invite you to watch these powerhouse programs collide on Monday, starting at 6:30 Eastern on TNT, True TV, and HBO Max. A field goal and a rushing touchdown from each quarterback so far. 10-10 our score. As Gomez will boot this away. Townsend and Flora, the return men for the Cyclones. Townsend brings it out of his end zone. And as he's put down on the 15, a couple of penalty markers down. Again, Jack Nudo, the elevated special teams coordinator, starting this week for the Sun Devils. Stepping in for Charlie Ragle, Dillingham's former high school coach, and the reason that he says he's even at Arizona State. Send in Charlie our best. I'm sure he's watching as his Sun Devils have knotted the score at 10-10.
During the return, illegal block in the back, number 13, return team. 10-yard penalty. Excuse me, half the distance to the goal. First down.
With that, let's send it down to Bridget.
Malik McLean put it simply this week, telling me that's my dog. It's going to be special when talking about Jeff Sims getting the start today. He said, I've known about Jeff way before our time at ASU when we both played in the ACC. I didn't want to play against him then, so I love that we're on the same team now. Head coach Kenny Dillingham said Malik and Jeff are good buddies, so I hope their off-the-field connection translates onto the field today, like you guys have said, and Moss, Mateer, and McLean all involved on that last drive that resulted in a touchdown, and this sideline lit up for Sims.
Howard, thank you very much. Getting skinny through the hole. Carson Hansen drills for 8.
The tale's old as time, right? Skill players all hanging around the quarterback in hopes that it gets them that extra look. Sure, you can borrow the car to head to the mall. I got a bike if you need it. I'll pay for your scooter ride. I don't know what people ride these days. I'm making out.
Beck surveying, pre-snap, and gives. Jordan Crook jumped on Hansen's back, but was not able to prevent him from refreshing the downs.
Hansen loves that downhill contact. We got to talk to him the other day. He said, I love duo, just a big, thick downhill run. Chance to try and press into the line of scrimmage and just hit one of those seams. And we see for all the ability he has pushing through contact, he's got the ability to make guys miss the point of attack and break off chunks of zone.
The only player who scored in Arlington between these two teams last week, dressed for today's rematch. Gabe Burkle, the motion man, the tight end. Rocco looking that way, and he sails one. Carson Brown was open, but that's his second miss in as many drives through the air from Beck.
And all in that intermediate to deep area of the field. You've got that post coming inside, and either a miscommunication or just a flat-out miss. You wonder if he thought maybe he was supposed to carry more up the seam instead of breaking that route off inside. And we saw that happen last week. One of the early interceptions, that first one of the day, looked like just a flat-out miscommunication between quarterback and receiver.
All the more odd because he's completing a career-high 64%. Best efficiency of his tenure, despite losing 2 draft picks at wide receiver. He's at 73% this season here on his home field.
he's been able to work through those massive losses. We saw the
9-15,
Iowa State, Houston
Iowa State
Texans
called their first start.
getting loose early and often the other weekend. Phenomenal players, as everyone knew, and we mentioned this year it's been by committee in the receiving room, but I think too, when you've got a backfield this capable, right? The only Big 12 school with 2 500+ yard rushers on their way. Iowa State hasn't had 2 600+ yard rushers in the same backfield since 1982. And you see here all the Sunday talent on display for these two teams right now. Certainly wish Cam Scadaboo well in the recovery after that horrific injury, but these guys have been making noise.
Thanks to Scott Docterman, he was the first to bring it to our attention. That former Cyclone scored 5 touchdowns last weekend, and that was with Brock Purdy inactive.
A phenomenal run here. Matt Campbell, year 10, the standard that they've created and the identity. They understand we've still got to be, in this day and age, a development program. We've got to find those diamonds and build them into the great players that can contribute not only here but on Sundays.
Poncho's pulled out here at Jack Trice. Rain falls as they hit the handoff out on the perimeter. Xavier Townsend with that carry. Junior from Tampa, Florida for 4.
Great job by Townsend putting his foot in the ground and getting upfield. You're going to see him come from right to left across the formation, take that jet handoff. And when you've got slick conditions and that block at the point of attack by Dylan Lee, but slick conditions favor the offense because you know where you're trying to go. You know the design of the play. The defense is playing read and react.
Lee's a freshman. He stays in the game in the backfield. He's from Gilbert, Arizona. Matched up at home against the Sun Devils on 3rd down and 6. Blitz arrives. It gets home. It's incomplete. Well, how would Arizona State get to Becht on 3rd down? One of the big questions of the day. A freshman from Houston, Rodney Bimage, breaks through here.
And Bimage breaks through 2 guys. Watch him coming from this side of the formation. The left guard, Trevor Moore, not going to be able to make it out there. He's getting held up by the defensive tackle and then jukes the aforementioned Dylan Lee at the point of attack at running back. Phenomenal individual effort.
Tyler Perkins leads a top 25 punting unit in college football. They've only allowed 13 return yards total this season. Whistles with a flag before he can launch. This will be the 11th accepted penalty between the teams.
Number 29, offense, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
Got to be careful here too with Zechariah Sample, the freshman return man. Last week he had a 56-yard punt return against Houston. That too was nullified by a penalty. High snap. Oh, they got after it. They decked the punter, but no flag down as the kick goes out of bounds. It was Bimage again. Just hit the quarterback, now got to the punter. Home crowd wondering where the marker is.
And Bimage coming up gingerly. After that attempt, we see them going through right here. Didn't see if there was contact on the football, and then, yeah, good no call there. Neither of them make contact with the punter. He gets that leg clear. It's kind of like stepping into a pitch at the plate in baseball. Everyone says, oh, why not just take the hit and draw the flag? As if you could ignore thousands of years of evolution telling you to get out of the way of the human projectile.
This is one to watch, though. Already shorthanded in their pass rush. Bimage has made an impact. Now getting attended to. We've seen Jeff Sims navigate some full field drives. Now set up in great field position. On the toss. Ouch. What a hit. Ebel's been everywhere. He decks Raleek Brown here.
That's how you notch 5 or more tackles in 8 of your last 9 games played. And a great job at the point of attack on the outside. You see Jamison Patton coming downhill, forcing Raleek Brown to put his foot in the ground, come back inside, and that's where all your help's coming from. And it came in a hurry on that play.
A driving drizzle now as we play below the 8-minute mark. Heading into the half, tied at 10. Sims and Brown in the pistol, down the line throw. Put it in the hands of Jalen Moss, who gets a block. and stumbles into Cyclone territory. They mark him out with a first down at the 45 as we go back to Bridget.
Yeah, guys, well, grab your ponchos. It is coming down here in Iowa, and it is, I feel like I've lived all of the different seasons today. I've seen sun, I've seen overcast, it's been cold, it's been kind of nice, but hey, that's the Midwest for you. So just something to keep an eye on. The rain is coming down here right now.
Perfect for that Halloween hangover, right? Just changing seasons by the minute.
Classic Midwest trope. If you don't like the weather, just wait 5 minutes.
Malik Brown offset now. Shotgun snap to Sims. Flips it over the top. It was way out of bounds. Not sure McClain ever saw it. But this conflict, this run-pass conflict, is something you can tell the Sun Devils want to lean all the way into.
He's been a human RPO, right? Usually that run-pass option is the quarterback putting the ball in the running back's hands, potentially pulling it for the throw, potentially pulling it to run on his own. This is just, hey, Jeff Sims is a rush threat on the perimeter, the design quarterback run with a lead, and now we've seen multiple instances where the defense has to be ready for the pass.
Does it protect a patchwork offensive line too?
Absolutely. Getting to the perimeter and having a mobile quarterback, huge for that group.
Down the line, Malik Brown, a speed to the perimeter and extending the football, looking for a first. Appears to be sure. Malik Brown, one of those Sun Devils who had his EA Sports College Football 26 rating elevated this week.
The runner's short of the line to gain. It's third down.
Great perimeter blocking. You see Cameron Harpole, one of the tight ends on this roster, is the QB sneak on deck for Arizona State.
The Sun Devil surge appears to be enough. Did not even need the 35 to get a new first down.
Great job by Tomatoa McDonough on that initial push. Him and looked like Dominique Orange. In the middle of that line of scrimmage, that initial push stuffed up, but great second effort. You see, yeah, the big citrus just pushing the center right back into his quarterback, but no question in my mind, Sims looked like he got there on that second effort.
Not sure he got the best of that spot, but even still with where they put it down, with the measurement, we'll see if it's enough to move the chains. And it is. Well, no swinging gate so far for Kenny Dillingham and the Sun Devils, but again, moments where he's forced to get creative have been some of the brighter ones of his tenure in Tempe.
We've seen that in some of the action with Jeff Sims at the helm. You go back to that Utah game earlier this season. He's comfortable as a guy that's played as much football as he has across now 3 stops. Going through all the machinations, not going to be something that overloads him.
Another road start. His third as a Sun Devil. He's got a new first down in plus territory. Brown takes the handoff, dodging traffic and bumper cars down to the 30. You know, I feel for Sims because we were talking this week about that driving rainstorm with whippy winds he had to play in Salt Lake City, and everyone on the Sun Devil side was looking forward to him finally have a chance to really sling it and show off his arm. And we kick off on what was supposed to be a dry day here in Ames, and Jeff's in the rain again.
In that game, they still let him put the ball downfield plenty. There were some big shots built into that game, but having to throw it with a wet ball and into the wind, you're right. And now we know, unfortunately, Sam Levitt going to have that surgery, going to be done for the rest of the year. So thankfully, Sim's going to have plenty of opportunities to go and show that ability.
2nd and 5 from empty. Gets the kick out block. Following his bigs for a new first down all the way below the 20 to the 18-yard line. Jamison Patton, a junior defensive back, brought him down. Got a run for a dozen for Jeff Sims.
Great patience to let his pullers get to the other side. Get in front, work inside out. He's got a great understanding. Quarterback runs are all built differently. We see a lot of these athletic quarterbacks, Sam Levitt included, on perimeter quarterback runs. To have a big body like this you can run power with is a huge asset.
5-minute mark, 8th play of the drive. This one down the seam for a touchdown. Shimon Mateer with an 18-yard score. Second week in a row, he's got a touchdown toss from Jeff Sims.
Always got to be alert with him down in the low red zone. Big big-body target, great hands, and what always makes him a threat is he's such a capable and willing blocker. You go all the way back to the early part of the season, but right here, you're gonna see the clear out coming from inside here, and then Mateer working his way into the void, wheeling around on the outside. You've got the defender holding here for the offensive player at the line of scrimmage. Great design by Marcus Arroyo and Kenny Dillingham for 6.
Cyclones had not trailed on their home surface until the second half of last week's loss to BYU. Now for the second week in a row, they're down at Jack Trice Stadium. Shimon Mateer has the Sun Devils on the high side.
Say yes to this ride-on golf cart. And for larger vehicles, Sam's Club Roadside Assistance. Yeah, hi, I'm on the corner of Pants and Pork Rinds. Say yes to amazing deals on 100-inch TVs and express delivery. Sit down, fellas. This is based on a true story. Oh. Say yes to Sam's Club's baked goods and to custom frosting.
Here you go, Chris.
I love it, it's perfect. Say yes to what you want this holiday and to the
the holidays. Beautiful, right?
Come on.
They are to her. Because she banks the chime. So she's racking up cash back and gets paid when she says. And those pesky bank fees, she wouldn't know. She banks fee-free. While building her credit stress-free. Look at her go. So don't bank the old way. Bank smarter this season through Chime.
Tonight, it's Fright Night Collision.
Show me if you can work like a family.
Plus, Mercedes Moné defends the CMLL Championship against Olympia. Fright Night Collision, tonight at 8 on TNT and now streaming on HBO Max.
Let's go! We go big! Hey, big time jam! Everywhere we go, you know we go big!
The Men of St. Francis take on TCU Thursday at 7:30 Eastern on TNT, True TV, and stream on HBO Max.
We go big!
Next week, we are heading to Morgantown. Prime in Colorado taking on West Virginia, noon Eastern on TNT, True TV, and HBO Max. And the Mountaineers, you must know we're coming. They're up 24-21 in the second half on Houston. Just beat these Sun Devils last week. 8 plays, 56 yards. The touchdown drive for Arizona State. Mateer, 18 yards on the receiving end from Sims.
An incredible response after some early mistakes from the Sun Devils. Now a chance for Rocco Beck to answer before the end of the half.
Gomez the kickoff, and this one will be a touchback. We're talking with Brian Ward, defensive coordinator for Arizona State this week. He says one of the areas he really respects Rocco Beck is in the 2-minute drill. Now this is a 5-minute mode offense, but end of half situations where he thinks Beck and the Cyclones have been their most brilliant.
And I think even though this isn't a true 2-minute drill, could still be an area for Taylor Mauser and this offense to hit the tempo button. You've seen Rocco Beck and these receivers maybe not on the same page, some missed throws over the middle, so now finding some easier access to get him into that rhythm. Tempo can get you out of your head at times.
4 of 9 for 45 yards through the air. They move his launch point. I think this is what you just hinted at, Mike. Let's find a way to get it to Brett Eskelson, who sparked last week's game with a 75-yard touchdown.
Exactly. Create defined reads. An easy half-field read right here. You get him moving. He's protected. It helps the offensive line. And an easy pitch and catch for your quarterback to try and get things moving here. Plenty of run games still available to you, but a great way to start this drive.
Kramer, the tight end's at the bottom of your screen. They run it in his direction. A lot of traffic, including some of his own Cyclones, for Carson Hansen to sift through. CJ Fight right there at the point of attack. That junior defensive lineman is the star of this ASU front. His stats will never tell the true story of his impact.
D-tackle's always doing the dirty work, getting upfield, making plays. His line mate Clayton Smith, who does get some of the fun splash plays, tied for the ASU lead in sacks, blew up that attempted pin and pull and gave his big buddy a chance to make a play.
Massive 3rd down and 2 here. Inside of 4 to go in the opening half. They'll trust Hansen. He spills to the 35. The initial mark, I don't think he's there, Mike. His body went past the line to gain, but they mark him down short.
And you see Gabe Burkle coming onto the field right now. I think this is a great opportunity to try and go for it. And a big play looked like Kendrick Breedlove coming from that second level. We've talked about the defensive backs against these bigger personnel groups having to come down and try and make tackles at the point of attack. They're going to get a chance to do it again here.
They load up in front of Hansen. Whistles and a flag first.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 66, offense, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
Now, Tyler Miller's made 36 straight starts with the infraction. That's going to rob his team of the chance to go for it. Now they're punting.
Back-breaking mistake. Look at Miller over on the right side here, and just that quick flinch, trying to jump the snap count on a pivotal 4th and 1. Just a hair too early from a guy with plenty of snaps under his belt, 35 consecutive starts coming into this.
I still had questions about that 3rd down spot. Hansen went over on his back. I'm not sure how they put it down shy of the 30. Arizona State's going to try and make it hurt now. Zechariah Sample with a fair catch at the 26. And they've got a chance to add to a 7-point lead going to the break.
And Jeff Sims has a great chance to add to what's been a stellar day for him so far. 10 of 15 for 164 yards through the air, seeing the field very well, reacting to the blitzers, getting the ball to the perimeter, but using that known threat of his running ability to open up opportunities downfield for Jaron Hamilton, for Malik McClain, and to call his own number in the low red zone the way we saw from Rocco Beck. The veteran showing just how important depth at this position is in college football in 2025.
He's got points on 3 straight drives, a field goal and a couple of touchdowns. They lead him to the right edge and running the alley to perfection. Cooper Ebel with another Cyclones tackle.
And Ebel trying to drive home the point. You're going to have to find a new party trick. That quarterback lead to the outside's not going to work now that he's seen it a few times in this game. And I'm sure Kenny Dillingham, Marcus Arroyo got plenty of wrinkles off that, but it's worked so well for them. And kind of like we always talked about in the offensive line when I played, you're going to see the same blitz until you show you can stop it. You're going to see that same set until the defense makes plays like that.
Ebel one of 44 Iowans on this Iowa State roster. Sims wants to throw, knocked off his spots, and flips it to the cleats of Jalen Moss. So timeout us with ASU on top 17-10. And before we take the 2-minute timeout, you'll never believe this, but there's another penalty.
Stop me if you've heard this before.
13 and counting combined, and a choppy first half.
Probably ineligible downfield. RPO play breaks down like that and the timing gets off. Some of these linemen that are blocking run initially on those sets can drift down past that allotted few yards around the line of scrimmage.
Sun Devils getting 7.5 yards per play. Penalties about the only thing that have slowed them down so far. Asking Matt Campbell if he wants to accept that foul.
Ineligible player downfield, number 55. Offense, penalties decline. It'll be 3rd down. Timeout for the 2-minute timeout.
Again, a tough spot for Jamedo Abibo. Block and run. Unfortunately, draws the flag. 2-minute timeout here in Ames. Arizona State up 17-10.
Being a champion means knowing when to work and when to reward myself.
Strawberry mango.
This is amazing. And with my Active Cash credit card from Wells Fargo, I earn a limited 2% cash rewards on purchases.
Really? You call this a workout?
I'm just taking a little break. Then I'll get back after it.
I'm messing with you. Actually, that looks really good.
Make it 2. With the Active Cash credit card from Wells Fargo, I earn a limited 2% cash rewards on purchases.
The perfect place is your local Ace. This Christmas, get free assembly and delivery on your new grill at Ace. Around the block, what you need in stock, with service so good it's guaranteed.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
They all want the Emirates NBA Cup.
I'm gonna get that.
30 teams, 6 groups, nowhere to hide. The hungriest will advance. The rest will be left behind.
Now this is high-stakes action. Everyone wants that cup.
But only one will capture it.
If the peanut butter in a Reese's could talk to the chocolate, what would it say? You complete me. Should we start a podcast? Who does your ridges?
That guard dog sure is lucky he has Simply Safe.
Word on the street is that Simply Safe has proactive monitoring. The AI outdoor camera can alert live agents of a crime before it starts, not after, unlike other security systems.
Stop, this is Simply Safe. Police are on the way.
Must be nice.
Shh, keep it down. I'm trying to nap here. Simply Safe. Real security stops crime before it starts. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
This 2-minute timeout was brought to you by the Active Cash credit card from Wells Fargo. Earn unlimited 2% rewards on purchases. Terms apply. Back in Ames, the Sun Devils have the football and a touchdown lead with 2 minutes to go before the break.
Got a little corn after dark.
About the only thing we haven't sampled so far in our trip to Ames. Here comes the blitz. Throw behind it. Mateer just scored a touchdown, and now he moves the sticks. Spilled at the 38-yard line by David Coffey, a freshman defensive back from Chicago. A gain of 11. The ASU tight end.
Under 2 minutes, that clock stops briefly while they reset the chains and get back to the line of scrimmage.
237 yards of offense for Arizona State, and Jeff Sims back to work here. May have slipped a touch in these conditions. Jalen Moss coming out of his break, and now a flag back at the line of scrimmage with some extracurriculars. Well, it sure has looked like there's been some bad blood between these two sides, despite the fact that they tried to tamp down the rematch of last year's Big 12 championship game.
After the play is over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness with targeting, number 58, offense. The down will count, second down after a 15-yard penalty. Previous play is under review.
Wow, so the starting right tackle, Maxi Honachor, at risk here for the Sun Devils.
Boy, this is going to get real interesting here. Over on the right side. So after the play, locked up here, we see the two of them, and it's the spear after the play, trying to go and get after him. Punishing jumpers on pass protection, as we know, with targeting, leading with the crown of that helmet. Yeah, you lose him just out of the screen there. Again, right over here. By the letter of the law, he is leading with the crown of his helmet. Going towards the ground, not sure if he's considered a defenseless player in that posture, since we know for targeting you got two criteria. You can have someone launching to the head or neck of a defenseless player, or just making that blow with the crown of the helmet, which he appears to be here. I don't know if I've ever seen targeting called on an offensive lineman. So again, after the play.
Is that part of the 6-inch radius from the top of his helmet? We'll find out.
After review, there is no foul for targeting. The dead ball personal foul is enforced. Down did count, second down.
About as close as you can get. Ultimately, I think that's the right call. In the spirit of the rule and what we're trying to eliminate, I certainly don't feel like that's the situation that you're trying to account for there. They think he had enough face mask up going into that altercation. The right call, and a huge play for Arizona State to keep Honachor in the game.
It was Ike Ezeagu, by the way, if you have not mentioned, the Cyclones player involved in that. So the personal foul does back the Sun Devils up, and it definitely disrupts this 2-minute operation. They're all the way back at their 23 now, facing second down and 25. Both teams with 2 timeouts to utilize here, 1:36 remaining. The Sun Devils have scored on their last 3 possessions. Jeff Sims out of empty. The pulling offensive lineman, he coughed it up! Iowa State takes over at the 24. Well, Ezeagu was just at the bottom of a mix-up with Ihanichor, and now he's got a fumble recovery.
A great hit at the point of attack. Looked like Will McLaughlin. Quarterback powder, and he sneaks under the pulling offensive lineman and puts his helmet directly on the football to jar it loose. ASU had all the movement before the play. They saw zone defense, 3 up front, 5 underneath, and 3 deep safeties. Thought they might have some easy yards in the run game, and McLaughlin shut the door on that with authority.
Sudden change situation, and one of the strengths of this Arizona State defense, they've not given up any points off of turnovers this season. That will very much be put to the test here on a short field with Rocco Becht going right to it. That one was heat-seeking. Put it on the number of Chase Sowell. Gain of 8.
Sowell overcoming the early drop. Like the last drive we saw for Becht, get him a completion on first down, eat up some yards, efficient football as the clock ticked down towards a minute.
Couple of tight ends left, 2 receivers split out right. Back to the air, in his own zip code, Ben Bramer, touchdown, Cyclones.
Bramer with the no-brainer off the RPO. The hard run cell with Carson Hansen in the backfield and nobody sticking with the veteran tight end. And as you mentioned, Arizona State had been one of 5 FBS teams with no points off turnovers, but handed the ball on the doorstep to Iowa State, made it awfully difficult on that group.
I know Iowa State fans are still stewing over that offensive pass interference call in Boulder and the loss to Colorado on Bramer. Botched exchange here. And another special teams mishap. Perkins, the holder, could not handle it. The whole operation disrupted, and the Cyclones still trail.
The snap a little high, but the hold goes right through his hands. Give him credit for trying to kick it off the mat, like hitting driver off the deck. I was amazed he gave it a shot. But just the operation once again under fire.
Drew Clausen, the long snapper, Perkins again, the holder. Even though they've got Conradi back, it's been more of the same.
Penalties decline, extra point is no good.
They're saying they would have taken the driver off the deck. Sorry, Mike.
That shouldn't be illegal.
Back to the touchdown.
Yeah, take a look. 2 tight ends over here, but Bramer on the line of scrimmage. And you're going to see big bodies, hard run cell up front, and a great pull by Rocco Becht. That's the conflict they put you in. They get big and then they run small plays. They get those targets loose downfield. And we've talked about Becht being a little erratic with the accuracy, maybe not on the same page. That's a big, easy target to hit down in the red area in 18.
Now the Cyclones won the toss, elected to defer. So they're set up to get it again to begin the second half. How aggressive are you with Sims if you're Kenny Dillingham here with 1:01 to go and 2 timeouts?
I think this is the classic area we see a lot of teams come out and try and pop a run. I think you put it in the belly of your running back, Raleek Brown, see if he springs one, and then get into gear if he can break off a chunk.
Hamilton signals fair catch and preserves those precious seconds. Well, Sims had a rash of turnovers early in his career. You combine Georgia Tech and Nebraska, most of those coming at Georgia Tech. I mean, it's stunning. And he had kept a clean sheet so far in limited opportunities at ASU. His first giveaway turns into a touchdown here in Ames.
Expect to either see a design run or get him on the perimeter. The two-way go that we've seen work pretty well for him. Try and move the ball in a bit. Both teams still 2 timeouts sitting in their pocket with a little over a minute left here.
Even though the conditions have deteriorated a bit, ASU also has a kicker with 7 makes from beyond 50 yards. Let's see if they can get him in position. Malik Brown pops the very run you previewed. Starts the drive with at least 10. David Coffey hits the tackle.
And usually you come with 2 plays ready so you can get up to the line of scrimmage and do just this after that chunk you need to start the motion.
Snap at 50. And this will lose yardage. Cyclones reset the line of scrimmage, and Brown was trapped. That may take things to the half for Dillingham and the Sun Devils.
Just another small but brutal error in the operation for Arizona State to stymie a potential opportunity before the half.
High snap, stick it on the ground, make them tackle Malik Brown, which they do. Have a half, Cooper Ebel. So a missed field goal and a botched extra points on the Cyclone side of the equation will allow Arizona State to go into the half at 17-16. But because of all the special teams mishaps we've seen, Matt Campbell's going to spend one of his 2 timeouts here. What do you think? Trying to get them into formation at least before this is done?
Make them put the ball in play again on what's been a sloppy track where we've seen miscues on special teams by both groups. And absolutely, I think you make them try in that situation. We already saw Arizona State make another mistake with the offensive group on the last drive. And the timeouts don't roll over, so you might as well.
The winner is bowl eligible. The loser is in a world of hurt after appearing in the final Big 12 game of last season. Both these teams ascending in the rankings, high preseason and midseason expectations. Sun Devils feel like they've run the gauntlet already in October with the meat of their Big 12 schedule. Can they win out and get back the Big 12 championship game? After the Iowa State timeout, Jeff Sims. He's going to launch. Tips. Hits. The Cyclones take it away. Marcus Neal on the return, and he's down with seconds remaining in the opening half. Back-to-back giveaways for Jeff Sims and the Sun Devils. And the timeout for Campbell looks like a stroke of brilliance.
A back-breaking play on back-to-back drives. Empty, plenty of time in the pocket. And Sims just cuts it loose into the middle of John Haycock's defense. That 3-3-5 playing on a string all together on that back end. And coming up, that ball's tipped. You gotta have it going the other way. And now an interesting situation. So you've got 1 timeout left, about 8 seconds. And so you've got a chance to get one more play off, try and get yourself a little better opportunity at a field goal try. They put 1 second back on the clock, so 9 seconds here. Time to get a play off and try and eat up a little bit of yardage. Is Dillingham now going to use one of those timeouts?
Arizona State has called their second charge timeout, 30 seconds in length.
And though it hasn't looked this way so far today, the sophomore from Dubuque, Conradi, has been outrageously good. Earlier this season, hit from 63, a school record against South Dakota, second longest make in Big 12 history. Of course, he's beaten the in-state rival Iowa Hawkeyes in back-to-back years with game-winning 54-yarders. So, he's never buying a beer in this state again. Will he get another look here before the half?
Got a great opportunity for that now. So the chess match there. Dillingham gets a look at their offensive set, tries to come back over. We'll see the adjustment that Taylor Mauser and this offense can make. Try and get a quick completion. If you're Beck, you got to understand, have that timer in your head. Make sure if you're trying to go and put the ball in the air, you either get it there or sail it and make sure that you've got an opportunity here to go end the half with a kick.
And receivers have to get down if they are on the end of a catch. Chase so well the motion man. Short set. There's that timer. It goes off, and he ditches it. Now what?
You're in a tough spot here now, so where the ball's marked at about the 37.
They're going to try it, I think, Mike.
54-yard field goal. You mentioned he's got 4 career makes over 50 yards, so in his range.
So having just had an extra point go begging, now a 55-yard try heading to the half. Kyle Conrady, here we go. Looking to turn the interception into 3 and the lead in the final seconds of the first half. Left all the way, no good. Campbell and his Cyclones will get it to begin the second half, trailing 1.
Losing plays. Got to take care of those and then let the good ones start to flow.
ASU will kick it away. Iowa State gets the first crack at the third quarter. Flora steps up and takes a fair catch. Let's check in with Bridget.
Thanks, guys. I caught up with Arizona State head coach Kenny Dillingham at the break, and he said, first things first, those last few plays of the first half were on me. I told that to the guys, and he also said, as for the officials, he goes, let me go crazy. I will protect you. Don't forget that. As for his message to Jeff Sims, he just told him, trust your eyes, keep going. And guys, don't forget, Arizona State gets back their safety, Miles Rouser, in the second half. He was out in the first half from a targeting penalty last week at Houston. Look for him to bring energy to this defense. I saw him come out of the locker room early. He's ready to go.
Yeah, Ghost, as they call him, the first Sun Devil player to get hit with the targeting this season. Some fortification to their defense as they go toe-to-toe with the Cyclones. And Hansen, only a yard. And Jordan Crook gobbles up the first tackle of the third quarter. Second down and long for Rocco Becht.
What a great tone set in the halftime locker room. Accountability, it's contagious. And when it starts with your head coach offering that protection to your quarterback that made some mistakes, gives you a great opportunity to respond in this half.
Next set of 13 in the first half through the air. Protection breaks down, and he cannot get away from C.J. Fight.
JB, you mentioned earlier, not all the stats for C.J. Fight going to show up on the stat sheet. Does a great job plugging everyone up at the line of scrimmage. But look on the back end, Javen Robinson sticking with a Skilson. On the other side, Keith Abney couldn't find Sowell on the back end, so a coverage sack helping that group up front get home.
Rocco Becht looking for 8 on third down. Unloads. Sowell turns it up quickly. Let's see if this stands. There's a flag down as he's knocked out shy of midfield. Penalty marker in the pocket.
Hands to the face again for Arizona State rushing the passer. It looked like it would be Albert Smith
Personal
at the quarterback
foul,
again.
hands to the face, number 3. Defense, 15 yards will be added to the end of the run, automatic. First down.
We talked about it in the first half, and the same sort of setup here this time. Much easier to call for the official hands to the face on the offensive tackle. Not on the quarterback like we saw in the first half from Albert Smith.
All right, that's Tyler Miller. You got to deliver the line of the week. Talking about Tyler Miller, the right tackle for Iowa State.
Talking to Taylor Mauser, said he's an all-timer. He's a father of 2. He owns land. Would play with a cigarette in his mouth if he'd let him.
Been knocked out there with the hands to the face. Usama was limited in that first half, but his impact was certainly felt. And I wonder if you feel the absence of Prince Dorba. Not to say that he couldn't be guilty of the hands to the face himself, but when his youthful direct replacement commits 2 of those fouls, you got to call it out.
No substitute for experience, especially a high level. Prince Dorba, one of the most gifted athletes up front in that group, was tied for the team lead in sacks, led the team in quarterback hurries, and you're right, used to dealing in that hand-to-hand combat in critical situations.
He virtually won that game against TCU single-handedly with his fingerprints all over. Becht dealing, middle, batted away at the goal line. A fine defensive effort by Robinson. We've been talking a lot today about Javen Robinson.
Mentioned the big game he had in the Big 12 championship. He's picked up right where he left off in this matchup on the top with the Skilson, and just runs the route for him every step of the way. Not fooled, bending in towards the middle of the field, comes over the top. A phenomenal play from start to finish.
Good windows of rain in that first half. So far dry here in the third quarter. Sun starting to crack through again as Beck sets the laces, dodges traffic, and the Sun Devils get home. Two converge on the quarterback, Elijah O'Neal and Jacob Kongaika.
Over on the left side, you're going to watch Kongaika get the party started with the win here and clear the way for him coming back from the inside. Wins over the top and then shows up to clean up the trash. Great execution of that all-up look that turns into a four-man rush, but creates some isolated pockets for one-on-one matchups and get the win there.
ASU felt like they missed 5 sacks against Rocco Beck in the pocket of last December's conference championship loss. They pick up a sack here, and did they keep it out of the end zone? So far, it appears they have. The officials' beanbag is down at the 2. Of course, there were bodies spilling into the end zone, but on Saturdays, that does not matter. Could be a long field here for Sims.
It's been the story of the day for them so far, but again, a great look at it here. Like you mentioned, as long as the football doesn't break the plane of the goal line, which gets really close, right down on the edge there. Going to require an extra look.
Pulling on the field as the ball did not cross the goal line. It was touched at the 3-yard line. It's first down, Arizona State.
Aiden Flora had the first chance at it, and on a couple of occasions, it looks like that nose the ball might have gone over.
See right there. Boy, that seems like it broke the plane.
They're going to let this play.
Stunned.
Sims from his own end zone. Hands off for Malik Brown. A yard, maybe. Marcus Neal slams the door. With help from Jamison Patton in the run fit.
So much of that run defense just starts and ends with Dominique Orange in the middle. He's able to reset the line of scrimmage so consistently. Backs having to bounce back a hole because he's so stout at the point of attack. A huge part of this 3-3-5 defense.
Sims hops behind a block and rides the surge to the 5. He's got a third down opportunity, and I think this will be an early indication of, is his confidence at all rattled by those 2 turnovers deep in the half? Is Kenny Dillingham? Is Marcus Arroyo gun shy at all?
Yeah, it's one thing to say to the halftime locker room if you're Kenny Dillingham, hey, that's on me, I put you in a bad position, trust what you see. You got to go and put him in those positions once again where the ball could be in harm's way.
A punt from the Cyclones at the end of their first possession of this second half, pinning Sims and the Sun Devils deep. Run all the way, barreling over defender. And gets the 11, but this is 4th down.
And so again, judging by the play call, I do think there is something to, hey, we understand the deep position we put our defense in with those mistakes last time out. We dodged a bullet here. The call didn't go our way on the potential touchback on that play, and we're going to live to kick this one the other way.
I mentioned that Floyd, the sophomore punter, has been battling a quad injury. He takes a helmet-high snap and is able to get it away. With Flora looking up into the afternoon sunlight, blinded by the lights at the 49. Beck goes back to work. His Cyclones still trailing by
1. Today, we accomplished nothing. I mean it, not a thing. And it was kinda everything.
Get double points this fall at Best Western.
sorry.
Oh my gosh!
At the end of the day, like, you gotta love this game to go out here and continue to be your best.
I will still get the job done.
Is that ring not right here fitted?
Big 12 football on TNT Sports is presented by Allstate. You're in good hands. Back in Ames, Jack Trice Stadium, the Sun Devils and the Cyclones 5-3 apiece, a rematch of last year's conference championship game. This time around, it's bowl eligibility at stake for Rocco Becht and the Cyclones.
You see right now, the number's not gaudy today. Credit to the Arizona State secondary. Keith Abney and Javen Robinson been phenomenal in coverage and giving tight windows to Becht to try and throw through.
Eskelson in motion. Heat from his right, a little flip, into trouble and caught. Would have been better off as an incompletion. Cooper Alexander, a freshman from Washington, Oklahoma, as Elijah O'Neal came off the edge.
Play action pass rep here, great pressure. And you're right, it looked like it got tipped into his hands by Keyshawn Elliott, who thought he had the pass break up there. And actually, you lose yardage on that play. This Arizona State defense, we mentioned, 22nd in the country with 22 sacks on the year, active in opposing backfields, and did so today.
A bunch of three, tight to the boundary. Back looking to the wide side of the field. And he's errant again, missing Chase Sowell.
That's been the other part of today. We talked about the great coverage on the back end, but there's been more than a few head scratchers where the ball sailed, the ball's drifted, and it feels like in windows that are open. I mean, that's open at this level, and got to be able to put it in there. Again, you always account for the fact maybe there's miscommunications built in, but at this point in the season, that has to start to be a completion more often than not.
As warm and as dry as it's been since we kicked off here in Ames. Third down rep for Becht. Extending the play out at the numbers. Fourth down. There's some discontent audible here from the home crowd in Ames. Brian Ward told us that on defense, his Sun Devils have been good. They're a play or two away every game from being elite. So let's not underrate what they've done with their game plan today either.
Absolutely not. We lauded this linebacker group, rightly so. CJ Fights made some great plays up in the middle as we have more whistles here. No flags thrown, at least.
The ball was not made ready for play. Replay fourth down.
Forgive me if after the first half, my immediate reaction is to look for laundry.
Dillingham and Campbell separated by just a point. As Tyler Perkins resets for his punt. He's donating $2 for every yard he averages per punt each week to the Food Bank of Iowa. And that's a gem. They mark it at the 6.
We know we are in a state that appreciates a good punt.
Uh-huh. Punters are people too.
For the perfect present, the perfect place is your local Ace. This Christmas, get free assembly and delivery on your new grill at Ace. Around the block, what you need in stock, with service so good it's guaranteed. Ace is the place with the helpful hardware.
Ride on golf cart. And for larger vehicles, Sam's Club roadside assistance. Yeah, hi, I'm on the corner of Pants and Pork Rinds. Say yes to amazing deals on 100-inch TVs and express delivery. Sit down, fellas. This is based on a true story. Oh. Say yes to Sam's Club's baked goods and to custom frosting.
Here you go, Chris.
I love it. It's perfect. Say yes to what you want this holiday and to the joy of Sam's Club.
I hate the Rangers.
Bring the hate. We have animosity. We have bad blood.
But they're a very skilled team. Colorado, you've got generational talents.
Oh, what a move! Scores!
They got a tremendous team.
Hurricanes, Rangers, Lightning, Avalanche. Tuesday at 6:30 on TNT.
5 weeks left in the regular season, including this one. 5 Big 12 teams ranked, including Houston, down 10 deep in the fourth quarter at home against West Virginia. Mike, to you, does this just emphasize Kenny Dillingham's point that all they can do is stay in the fight and maybe chaos ensues?
100%. We saw it the back half of last year. You still have Cincinnati playing Utah tonight. BYU and Texas Tech play before the season's over. Plenty of fireworks still to come.
Another long field for Jeff Sims. He handles a high snap and follows his lead block to the edge. Crunched by the shoulder, Patton. Only 3.
The spine of this defense, we've talked about the big citrus, Dominique Orange, but the second level, Cooper Ebel, Patton coming down and hitting. These guys know, hey, if we're going to play back and try and present difficult passing lanes, you got to be able to come up and run support and deliver a blow.
Look at the difference in average starting field position, and despite that, the Sun Devils with the lead on the boot. Mateer's been their best weapon, and he slips. 3rd down.
Mateer's been that security blanket all day. It's cliche for a tight end, but Sims in the area has been comfortable beside the QB run, has been those designed rollouts and getting 7 involved. We see Cameron Harpole, the other tight end, getting on the field now for more of the 2 tight end sets that both these teams love, with 4 out to the left side of the formation.
Sims needs 4. The double door's open, and he's off to the races. Jeff Sims, exit velocity. Touchdown, ASU. 88 yards on the house call.
The home run ability on display. They've been chipping away all day, JB. Design quarterback run has been a steady diet, and you've been searching for what you got there. Spread them out, give them plenty of look at the space. You had 4 wide receivers out to your left here, so you've got 4 players in the box right now with a 5th lurking here. And a design quarterback run, a player coming from the second level diving at the ankles of the 6'5", 220-pound quarterback. And that's how you manufacture a home run if you're Marcus Arroyo, Kenny Dillingham in this offense.
Gomez the try, taking nothing for granted on teams today. The longest play of ASU's season.
As the rain comes pouring down once again here in Ames, you take a look and fields the snap. That tackle pull's been a staple all day. Honachor coming from right to left. But when you had quads to the right, so you had 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers, and a bunch all the way out to the left. So the defense has to make a choice. They covered those guys down because for ASU, that's been a staple for them. Get the ball on the perimeter, try and create an extended run. And now we talked all day about the other side. Iowa State putting them in a mismatch.
Boy, they're trying to watch the hamstring of maybe the top receiver in the country in these cold, wet conditions going into the bye week. My goodness, be careful, JT. And not to peel the curtain back too much, but you were just saying that if Iowa State could get a stop, you would like to see them hammer their running game a little bit. Has that maybe been taken away from them, given that moment? Chip shot kick here. Muffed, but covered.
Quite the opposite, JB. I think it's even more imperative. It's a 1-score game, but the weather that continues to seesaw all day long has spun back to driving rain. And so ball security going to be at a premium, number 1, but to me, there's no one I'm more comfortable dealing with this right now than Carson Hansen. I think you get big, you get your multi-tight end sets back on the field, you establish that run game, and then build the house of cards off that, involving those guys in the passing game once that hits.
Hansen, who suffered a concussion in the loss to Cincy and missed the game in Boulder, the loss at Colorado.
Game clock operator, please
returned with authority last week against BYU.
45 seconds.
And a loss from in
the
front.
Receiver touched the ball and then in the continuing action recovered it. We need to take some time off. Thank you.
Clock adjustment here. as we're playing under the lights again in Ames. Pass attempts for Rocco, 19 carries for the run game. Wow, now the momentum is all Miles Rouser and the Sun Devils. You can hear him from up in the press box.
And you got Hansen down right now after a big-time collision. Rouser, as Bridget pointed out, missed the first half because of a targeting ejection from the prior game and has come out with all that renewed energy. Fresh legs out of the halftime locker room.
We know that Sama was questionable all week, is dressed, but the starting tailback for the Cyclones is down.
There's a spirit of innovation radiating from the Iowa State campus. You can feel it flowing through every building and in the hearts and minds of every person who studies and works here. It inspires a culture of creativity and collaboration unlike any other university, which is just one reason Iowa State was honored as the Entrepreneurial University of the Year for the Americas. At Iowa State, the spirit of innovation is in everyone, guiding us to create a brighter future for all.
How do you think most people view you?
I mean, I would just say it's complicated.
A-Rod is a Shakespearean figure. He's one of the greatest players who ever played. He also was an incredibly flawed individual.
There's an arrogance that often comes with power. There's a sense I won't get caught. There's nothing more stupid than that. I learned that the hard way.
Here we go, baby, here we go. This is the Big 12, where 16 teams battle in a new era of college football. From the Rocky Mountains to Florida, TNT Sports uncovers the untold stories of these programs.
Let's move with it.
Big 12 Uncovered reveals the sweat, the swagger, and the dreams. Every Saturday, take a behind-the-scenes journey with a different program in one of the nation's toughest conferences.
We play on TNT.
Big 12 Uncovered, Saturday on TNT.
Carson Hansen back on his feet and doing his best to stay in this game.
You're going to hear the bone-crushing hit from Miles Rouser coming down, putting his helmet directly into the rib cage of Carson Hansen. Going to feel that one tomorrow in the cold tub.
Freshman Dylan Lee takes his place for now as they line up in the eyes they so often do behind Tyler Moore. The hammer. Good crease to the 33, maybe 34-yard line before Keyshawn Elliott shuts it down.
Great cut off the rare blitz from this ASU defense. We mentioned their blitz rate second lowest in FBS, but adding the linebacker Jordan Crook up the middle, finding a seam and setting up a third and manageable.
Now it's Aiden Flora, another freshman in the backfield. Bex off the hitch. Man, he is off the mark today. Eskilson is target. Home crowd can sense it. They are not used to this.
And again, listen, there's been varied weather all day long. I get it, but you wonder if there's something physically wrong with Bex. He's a guy that you just haven't seen this much inconsistency out of like this before.
Still just 93 yards passing. He's sub 50% in completion. Came into today at 64. Perkins to punt again. Sun Devils will get it back on a fair catch, able to secure it at the 23. After the second longest quarterback run in program history, an 88-yard touchdown. Might be time to take the tarps off in Ames. See if they can flip the momentum.
Shades of Section 231 from Stillwater, Oklahoma. The movement that now seems to have continued across college football. Let's keep an eye on that section. I wouldn't be stunned if we see more bodies, young men rushing up there to ditch the shirts and try and help the home team continue to rally.
That's great research by the Cyclone student body, knowing that TNT is their audience and that we will be receptive to such a movement.
Tough when you got overalls on, too. high risk, high reward.
Sims able to catch his breath. He's going to let Malik Brown work. He hits a crease and turns a corner. The rushing attack of ASU taking over in this third frame. 25 more for Malik Brown.
That's where he's at his best right there. He's a glider working to the outside. And I always say good runs happen when the offensive line blocks well. Great ones happen when you have the wide receivers working the way they are in that picture. And he gets to the edge of these zone runs as well as any back in the country.
Had that game winner touchdown with just seconds left against Texas Tech in Tempe a couple weeks ago. Looking to build on the advantage here. Seeing nothing but Cyclones out on the edge.
Tough to try and plant and make the sort of cuts that he's so well known for in this weather and these conditions.
Yeah, his max speed of 21.7 miles per hour, second in the league, only two here in Ames, Abusama. Two of the fastest backs in the conference on a wet track on this Saturday in week 10. Sims set to throw, hit as he deals and overshot Jalen Moss. What do you think about the way that the targets, the portfolio of receivers for Arizona State have offset the loss of Tyson, giving Sims enough to threaten the Cyclones?
Yeah, I think it starts and ends with Shimon Mateer at tight end, right? He's been the most consistent through line of today. But the rest of these guys, big targets too. We talk about Malik McClain, 6'5", 205, Jaron Hamilton, 6 foot. These guys can run, they're big-bodied targets. I think they've done a really good job picking up the slack, especially in the short area where Jordan Tyson's loss probably felt the most.
A yard shy of midfield is where they hit third down and 10. Rush arrives. Sims escapes. Needs to make one miss, instead takes a seat. And they mark him down where that slide started, the 47. I don't know if that's enough to go for fourth down.
No, and I question the decision. Great pickup here, all-out blitz. So when you've got man coverage down the field, great recognition by him to take off and run there. But you got to put your head down and try and go forward in that spot. You're trying to put some distance between you and this team, and you've got time, room, and you're 6'4", 220. You got to lay out and try and make a play there.
I'll mention his backup today is Cam Dyer, a freshman from Albuquerque who's coming off a high school ACL and is dressed as the number 2 today. Floyd with a low wobbly punt that takes a ASU hop and is smothered at about the 5-yard line.
Well, as the Cyclones get ready to take over again on offense, it's been a brutal day for Rocco Beck through the air. Trying to scheme up easy throw and catch opportunities. The big plays down the field, the balls sailing behind, high. There's been zero consistency. We talk about the other side, a new quarterback, the best wide receiver, now on the sideline for Arizona State. This is the group that's been there for Iowa State, had the time under task during this season, and your quarterback off back-to-back 3,000-yard passing seasons, looking decidedly not himself through the early portion of this afternoon.
And tight ends combined for 13 catches last week against BYU. Other than Bramer, he's not been able to find them so far today. They chip away with the running game, and good to see Carson Hansen back in the mix for the Cyclones.
You're right, though, JB. Outside of that, we saw Gabe Burkle, the recipient of a flip while he was the quarterback was under pressure. And I think that's been the theme as much as anything. This front seven for Arizona State, paired with the great coverage, been really difficult to find wins against.
More motioning in that right slot, comes to a 2-point stance. Here's a chunk run. Hansen for the 26. In the arms of Miles Rouser, a gain of 13.
Open field rematch with Rouser, who put the hit on him last time. And this time, Hansen able to give him a little shake at the point of attack, get an extra yard or so. But another good run. This is what we talked about. Weather changes, having some issues through the air. You got to be able to fall back on what's been one of the great identities for this program since Matt Campbell took over.
They're stuffing 4 into the boundary. Now the trips flips. Strong rights, and they run behind it. Well blocked. A stiff arm, and Hansen nearly got away. Boogie Wilson, a sophomore safety, holding on to limit the gain to 17.
You got that trade from left to right over on this side, and you just get to duo right up the gut. You can hit play and go on this, but everyone crashing downhill, opening up that seam and that side, and that trade last minute, taking all the tight ends from one side to the other, forces the defense to move, adjust, make calls, and then try and get their feet underneath them at the snap to go and handle these big bodies at the point.
Translate duo for us quickly if you can.
Power without the puller. Thick double teams up the middle, give your running back a chance to get downhill, keep his shoulder square.
It's Hansen's favorite concept. He gives way. Substitute at running back. Dylan Lee gets a rep. Had a career-high 81 yards and a touchdown against South Dakota in week 1. Not much since, as the shirtless contingent grows up in the corner of Jack Trice.
The banner has been lit. Gondor calls for aid.
Look what Stillwater started.
That's unbelievable.
Lee stays in the game as the tailback. Offsets. Rocco back to pass. With pressure in his face. On target. So well reels it in. "40 yards on the most confident stroke of the day from Rocco Becht.
Great protection up front to give way to a long developing route. Now set him up inside the red zone.
Working quickly, throws the fade right back to the same target, and here comes the penalty marker. So well against Abney one-on-one. A new season high in penalty yardage on the Sun Devils.
Number 1, defense, spot foul, automatic, first down.
Great job using tempo. The secondary's been great all day. One-on-one matchup with Sowell, trying to throw the fade, and you see Abney just never turns around to try and make a play on the ball, but you go back to the big play. Corner route over there, and finally Beck puts it on target for him on time and sets up a try for 6 here.
Lee in the backfield. Kramer, who's got a touchdown in motion. Rocco to the right side. Tumbles to the 2. Martell Hughes wraps up the tackle.
Pin and pull, you see the block down by Burkle, the tight end. Following your 6'9", 335-pound right tackle, Tyler Martin, to the promised land. Both these teams, quarterback run a staple in the low red zone. And I'm sure Rocco Becht not going to be afraid to call his number again here, as we see student body right in the big formation.
Already with a 7-yard rushing touchdown to his credit. This one goes to the tailback, and the Sun Devils sell out. Dylan Lee denied. Keyshawn Elliott with help.
The rain coming down here. You're going to see these 2 tight ends come across the formation and try and get the seal. This run designed to cut back, but no one able to take care of Crew Jackson on the edge, and he knifes in to make a big play and force a 3rd down, where, again, I try and get Rocco Becht rolling onto the edge here, get a 2-way go, the same way his first touchdown run ended up.
This drive has covered 91 yards for Iowa State. Here comes the 8th play of the march in the hands of Rocco Becht. He throws. It's dropped, but a penalty marker down. Slipped right through the hands of a wide-open Carson Brown.
And you wonder if they're going to get OPI here, trying to get the rub down by the goal line. Going to be important to see where this took place. Was it within that yard of grace you get a line of scrimmage? Or are they going to get him for too much contact, trying to spring loose that goal line
Pass
rub?
interference, number 18. Offense, 15-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Catch Bramer.
Take a look at the ISO right here. Big tight end working through, and then stops and full-on blocks there. And those are the spot, the nuances of that. You're just trying to turn and present your body, get in the way, not turn it into a full-on block, unless you're within a yard of the line of scrimmage where you're allowed to make that contact.
So this is still an and goal situation. A 3rd down rep, but now back at the 17-yard line. Beck settles in, clicks through his progression. way too tall, and probably best for him that it was. Bramer between 3 ASU Sun Devils. It's 4th and goal with 5 seconds left in the third, and the offense will leave the field.
Amazing stand by this Arizona State defense. Down on the goal line, overcome the first big chunk passing play we've had in a while for Iowa State, overcome another penalty on the day. He's got 109 yards of accepted penalty yards against him, but forcing a kick in that spot, massive.
The kicking unit has already missed 3 attempts today. A couple of field goals and extra points from 35. Conradi. High snap. Did not flinch.
Good work by the holder getting that one down. Another one that looked a little high coming out of the gates. The unwavering support. Looks like Section P making it happen today. The tarps have come off, and all of a sudden this Cyclones offense has come alive.
Watch Perkins here.
Boy, that's why these guys in the battery spend so much time together. You saw the snap. I mean, these guys are getting it down to the rotation where you get there and the laces are already facing away, so all he's got to do is slam that down and not worry about a spin. A little high, but still all the work and time those guys put together, usually on the third field at practice while I'm shortening my neck on inside run. I'm not bitter.
Jace T. Gilbert, the kickoff specialist. Not to be confused with Jace J. Gilbert, the freshman defensive lineman. It's a kick to hop into the end zone. One second left in the third, a one-possession game.
All you can ask for here, that Iowa State drive, well, again, maybe we look back on this and put a pin in that moment. Penalty down by the goal line that takes you back after what could have been a walk-in touchdown that was still dropped, by the way, was the other side of that play. But keeps it within a score. This drive here, a potential huge answer for Arizona State as the rain continues to come down, so you wonder how many chances they're going to give Jeff Sims to affect this game through the air, or if they're content to say, we're going to read option our way through this and try and ride it out to the finish line.
In the meantime, from the Iowa State standpoint, surely there are fans saying, we've seen this movie before. Offensively, red zone, turnovers, drops. It's been the story of the losing streak. Can they snap it here against Sims and the Sun Devils? Nearly escaped again. Will settle for the 38-yard line and a scamper of 13 to take us to the fourth. Ames. Raleek Brown through the left side, taking hits for 9.
The Big 12 on TNT presented by shirtless white guys. Unbelievable showing from the home crowd here, trying to will on their team, and Arizona State continuing to lean on the run. The body blows adding up. Before the end of the quarter, you saw Iowa State defenders slow to pick themselves up off the ground. This has been a physical effort on both sides of the ball.
Brown stays in the game, out of the pistol, second down short, waits for his blocks to lead him to midfield. First down, Arizona State. In case you're just joining us, you may have seen Sam Levitt, Big 12 Offensive Player of the Year, season-ending foot surgery, not with the Sun Devils for the rest of this season. Jeff Sims, a 6th-year senior, gets the start, his 3rd with ASU. All of them have been in hostile road environments. It's an injured Cyclone after that first down carry. Will McLaughlin was banged up last week against BYU after he registered 2 of his 3 career sacks against Bear Bachmeier.
Dealt with back and groin injuries last year that limited a lot of his play. Part of a robust linebacker group. We've seen Cooper Ebel, Caleb Bacon running around making plays all day for these guys, and as important now as ever with how this ASU run game is staying online.
And that's why they live in base, right? I mean, you lose Jeremiah Cooper, you lose John Tez Williams, 13 career interceptions sidelined between those two I think future pros, definitely all Big 12 corners.
Certainly huge impact. We saw when they went out, that next matchup against Cincinnati was where the trouble started for Iowa State. And John Haycock understands he's been at this a long time. He's going to morph it to what they've got. And they've got dependable linebackers and great players up front, as we see right here in the middle of that pile. Just gets rolled up out of the end, and that right leg just crunched underneath the pile. Walking gingerly right now. Certainly hope we get some good news out of the tent for him. Looked tough.
Now a steady drizzle, a high snap. Sims able to go up and stab it. 6'4" and needed every inch of it to turn near disaster into a short positive.
A quarterback that big and powerful, it's like that old comedy line, escalators are never broken, they just temporarily become stairs. The snap's not botched, it's just gonna end up being a QB run. And again, still going forward, right? You don't lose yards against this defense. You keep it marching forward. You're plus 50, so could be in 4-down territory as well, depending on how the next 2 snaps go.
Helton and Poulet have both been part of the center equation here in the month of November now for this ASU offensive line. Wow. Bouncing off the first hit. A flag comes in as he's chased out of bounds.
And who else but the big citrus, Dominique Orange, forcing the hold on this stretch run.
Boy, he deleted Carson Ryan last week. That hit made the rounds, didn't it?
Yeah. Not often you see the decleater from a guy playing nose tackle.
One of the great success stories in
holding
program history
number 58.
here at Ames.
Offense, 10-yard penalty from the previous spot, 2nd down.
Ihanichor gives us a chance to flash back to last week.
An exceptional athlete who's worked a lot on his conditioning. And you see here dropping off, potentially trying to get his hands up in a passing lane, and then sees a rusher come into that passing lane and decides it's a no-fly zone when you see 9-5 rolling through. And you're right, the coaches were so complimentary of him consistently. A guy playing 40-plus snaps a game for them, only did that once last year. It's been a remarkable body transformation for him.
The penalty puts Sims and the Sun Devils behind the chains, and the turf bites Jalen Moss. Not sure that play had much potential. At any rate, it's 3rd down and long.
Everyone having a little trouble holding on to that football right now. That one just got away from Sims, same way we saw the snap get away a little bit before. As you expect, spread him out, probably QB run designed again the way we've seen for a couple of critical 3rd downs. We've seen that also produce a big touchdown. So a light box once again, 3 defenders down near the line of scrimmage with those linebackers, all eyes on the quarterback.
You called it. Sims a block against the grain. Into plus territory, but still 8 left on the bone, maybe 9. And it looks like the Sun Devils will punt and play defense with this 5-point edge.
The mistakes have been the defining characteristic of this game, so both teams, I think, content to really lean into the field position battle. And Arizona State knows how difficult it's been starting each drive backed up by your own end zone. They're trying to give Iowa State a little bit of taste of their own medicine.
And Floyd trying to pin Aiden Flora, and the Cyclones deep again here. Conditions improving weather-wise, but another high snap. Flora says get away, takes a Sun Devil hop, and is gathered at about the 7-yard line. Timeout us in Ames, a 1-score game and a rematch of last year's conference championship.
Yes, to this ride-on golf cart. And for larger vehicles, Sam's Club roadside assistance. Yeah, hi, I'm on the corner of Pants and Pork Rinds. Say yes to amazing deals on 100-inch TVs and express delivery. Sit down, fellas. This is based on a true story. Oh. Say yes to Sam's Club's baked goods and to custom frosting.
Here you go, Chris.
I love it, it's perfect. Say yes to what you want this holiday and to the joy of Sam's Club.
Would you like to get a massage with the 4 of us?
What's it to ya?
From Adult Swim comes a new series full of laughs, love,
What's it to ya?
and life lessons.
I think if I have children, I'm leaning towards circumcising. What about you guys?
Ha ha, you clowns. New episodes Sundays at 11:45 p.m. on Adult Swim. Next day on HBO Max.
Before the big race on the weekend, buckle up for NASCAR's High Octane Prelude. Every week, True TV and HBO Max will bring you exclusive Cup Series practice and qualifying for the remainder of the season. See how teams tweak their rides to perfection in practice, then go all out in qualifying to try and lock in a front row spot on the starting grid.
You gotta earn everything in NASCAR.
It's the competition before the race, setting the stage for Victory Lane. NASCAR practices and qualifying, only on True TV and HBO Max.
All right, let's take a look at Iowa State's upcoming schedule, presented by Modelo.
One of the 3 bye-week teams by nature of that start for the season that began in Dublin. You talk to these guys, said it feels like it was almost another year ago they played that game to start the year, and trying to finish it on a strong note coming off this one at TCU and then Kansas and a trip to Stillwater at the end of November.
Rocco Becht had not been at his best today, but he has been at his best when his best is required in fourth quarters. He's got a reputation for comeback wins in his time with Iowa State. A little bit high and incomplete. He's choosing Sowell a lot today, but they've had a tough time connecting.
And a tough time getting separation. Keith Abney was the guilty party on the penalty down near the goal line earlier. Great job getting hands up, but that ball just behind enough to give Abney the opportunity to come in and get the pass breakup.
His defense part of why only 3 catches on 8 targets for Sowell. 7 wins for Becht in his career when tied or trailing in the final frame. Hunting another one today against the Sun Devils. Good protection here, he checks it down. 3rd down upcoming. Carson Hansen on the reception.
As you mentioned, an adept receiver out of the backfield. Saw Gabe Burkle presenting the options in the middle of the field. That's one place we expect them, or expected a lot more production today outside of the Bramer touchdown pass. This is as good a time as any. Talk about the fourth quarter comebacks. Lean on that tight end group. That's the strength of the team this year.
Rocco Becht 11 of 23 for 133 and a touchdown through the air. Needs 5 here. They move his launch point to the sticks. Incomplete. Sowell again the target.
Ruling on the field is an incomplete forward pass. It'll be 4th down.
Becht disagreed from his vantage point.
Close here, we're going to see Sowell able to hold on to the ball and survive the ground. Now just a question of if he got the feet down in time, and you see that right foot clearly out of bounds. Easy call by the officials and great catch in real time by them to force the punt.
So a 3 and out offensively for the Cyclones. 11 and a half to go, and from his own end zone, Tyler Perkins will kick it away. Zechariah Sample you saw pacing around his 40, awaiting a return opportunity. Good long snap here. High wobbly kick. Comes down in a pile of bodies. And it's going to be great starting field position for the Sun Devils with the lead. As for Dillingham and ASU, part of the reason they so desperately want this one on the road in Ames, they know they have a bye week and then a remaining schedule that features West Virginia, Colorado, and the Territorial Cup.
And the potential going through that bye week to maybe get Jordan Tyson back out on the field. That was part of the hope coming into this game, is if you can get out of here and find a way to win, you get another week for him to get healthy. That stretch run for Arizona State last year, remember, that culminated in this Big 12 championship matchup, all happened without Jordan Tyson. It was the Cam Scadaboo and Sam Levitt show, but Zero was nowhere to be found because of injury at the end of last season.
So Relief Brown, the tailback, start in that right slot. Now he motions into the sidecar for Sims. They begin a new possession from the Cyclone 40. Pocket punctured. Sims gets out the side door and tiptoes for several more. Jeff Sims has already scored from 88. This one good for 15.
Ran just past the outstretched arms of the looping Dominique Orange. You're going to watch the big Citrus track from the inside and tries to dive to make the play. Great tightrope walk by Sims, as Orange still down over on the sideline right now. Trying to see if he's getting helped up over there, and certainly hope he can get back out in the field.
He holds down, as you know, this three-man front. Sun Devil trying to run around it. Brown bouncing into trouble. Marcus Neal slams him to the turf, and just when this Cyclone defense needed a negative, they do trap Brown behind the line.
Boy, Jamison Patton's been flying around hitting all day long. Talked about that. Marcus Neal, heat-seeking missile in part of that secondary. That star roll, that third safety body on the field, crucial in John Haycock's defense. And he's a guy, 5 or more tackles in 9 straight games. He is active around the line of scrimmage.
Not look like we'll see Orange anytime soon. Sims on the keeper. Steps through a would-be tackler. And is back near the 22-yard line as he goes through the kicking net.
Defenders having a tough time getting him down, but the kicking net undefeated. The zone read, steady diet all day long here, and now an interesting spot for them here. You see him over here. Those Matt's always tough on the sideline, especially conditions like this. Almost got saved by the net.
Would consider this field goal range. 3rd down 7. All Sims. 18-yard line is where they will spot it. Does Dillingham want to set up a field goal to take this back to 8? He's keeping his offense on the field.
Trying to see if they can keep this going. 5-point lead now, so that field goal still keeps it a 1-score game. So if you've got them backed up again, I like the decision to go for it. 4th and within short range. A quarterback this mobile, and the wide side of the field to his throwing arm here. Get him on the run, give him the two-way go, and let him try to make a play.
There you see the trips to his right that Mike just referenced. Sims on 4th down. Oh, he tried to hit the pop pass, and it's broken up. Iowa State takes over on downs on what could have and probably should have been a Raleek Brown touchdown. Cale Brazina got his hands up.
And you see Kenny Dillingham saying we're good, but everyone going to be talking about what could have been on the 4th down attempt. Iowa State takes over on offense when we come back. 24-19 ASU.
With Amica Auto Insurance, it's not just about where you're going, but who you go with. We're customer-owned, and we look after what matters most to you, together.
For the perfect present, the perfect place is your local Ace. This Christmas, get free assembly and delivery on your new grill at Ace. Around the block, what you need in stock, with service so good it's guaranteed.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
I wanted a college that thinks outside of the box. Scratch that. That doesn't even believe in boxes. That's not afraid to tap into the limitless potential of the human brain. And tear down the myth that great education is only for an elite few.
Being able to wear this as an analog astronaut.
Because the truth is, it's for all of us.
I'm coming for each and every one of you. It's collision. I've been ready my whole life. I will spit you out. I am timeless Tony Stark. I'm ready for the war. I said I'm ready for the fight. You will play by my rules. Because I am the champion. Nobody is safe from this madman. You're all mine.
AEW Collision. Tonight at 8 on TNT and now streaming on HBO Max.
Here we go, baby!
Big 12 football. Big action, big plays.
What a throw, what a catch.
I run with the crew that's making the moves. Get out of the way, we coming through. We got this, never stop in, and we won't lose. No, we can't lose.
See ball, get ball.
Give me everything you got.
You better bring your A game. This is big.
Sometimes the nameplates write the script for you. Brzezina just saved Iowa State's bacon.
An incredible play on the 4th down attempt by Arizona State. Watch Brzezina right here, tracking over the top on the quarterback run fake that's supposed to turn into a walk-in touchdown for Raleek Brown. But the recognition from Brzezina to understand, get his hand up and bat it down, incredible.
Quebec gets another chance. Off the play fake. Great protection. Oh, what a hit. Right at the catch point. Bramer collides with Abney.
Ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. 2nd down.
And clarifying that, I'm sure, to point out that that wasn't targeting. That was a clean hit and a shoulder into Bramer, who just didn't see it coming. And quite honestly, neither did his quarterback, throwing him into harm's way.
Uh-oh.
Oh, boy.
Oh, no. Oof. You can see they're trying to roll Bramer over.
Michelob Ultra Zero. Zero alcohol, ultra smooth taste, just 29 calories.
Hey, let's get out there.
Stay in the game with Michelob Ultra Zero.
A diagnosis doesn't define you. Even ATTR cardiac amyloidosis. You've come a long way. Your path was never set in stone. So why would life with ATTR-CM define you? You have the power of choice. Attruby is an oral medicine used to treat adults with ATTR-CM to reduce death and hospitalization related to heart problems. Attruby helps slow the progression of ATTR-CM. People taking Attruby were 50% less likely to be hospitalized for heart issues. Tell your doctor if you're pregnant, plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding, and about the medications you take. The most common side effects were mild and included diarrhea and abdominal pain. If you have ATTR cardiac amyloidosis, ask your cardiologist if Attruby is right for you. It's time to get busy living.
A new way to experience CNN. Subscribe now.
The Final Four returns to Indianapolis.
Electricity's in the air.
Can you believe this?
The road to the Final Four ends here.
Moments they talk about for a lifetime.
The national championship on TBS.
Jack Trice has been in total silence for several minutes now as the medical professionals attend to Ben Bramer. We'll give you one look at the hit from Keith Abney.
Tough moment for all his teammates right now, everyone in the stadium. Clearly with their hearts, thoughts, prayers all on Bramer, and certainly hoping he was going to be okay.
We'll step aside one more time and hope to bring you better news on the other side.
Here we go, baby, here we go. This is the Big 12, where 16 teams battle in a new era of college football. From the Rocky Mountains to Florida, True TV uncovers the untold stories of these programs. Big 12 Uncovered reveals the sweat, the swagger, and the dreams. Every Saturday, take a behind-the-scenes journey with a different program in one of the nation's toughest conferences.
One in the win column, let's go!
Big 12 Uncovered, Saturdays on True TV.
Go inside the race with HBO Max, the exclusive home for the all-new NASCAR driver cam. For the first time, watch up to 4 drivers simultaneously, listen to live team radios,
Come back down the track.
and track real-time stats.
Can I get some info where I'm at? Yeah, 2 down right now.
NASCAR driver cam brings you closer to the action than ever before.
Hell yeah!
Don't just watch NASCAR. Live it. Only on HBO Max.
Iowa State junior tight end Ben Bramer involved in a violent collision here in our fourth quarter. Emergency medical professionals have lifted him onto the cart after stabilizing him. His teammates circled up in prayer, likewise for the ASU Sun Devils.
That's as quiet as I've ever heard a football stadium, and you see him going off right now. You're just hoping to see some movement, some good sign, and if not, good news coming soon from the locker room.
There's a thumbs up from the right hand, Mike.
That small sign from Bramer means so much to his teammates, I'm sure, who, along with the Arizona State sideline, you play through a lot of injuries, you see a lot of injuries in this sport, but a moment like that jarring, where almost immediately, and credit to the emergency response crew, they were immediately out on the field, the communication there to get that process started. Your hat's off to everyone there, and now these guys have to try and go out and play the next play and try and reset mentally after watching that happen to, for Iowa State, a player that you've gone to battle with and know so personally, love so dearly as a part of your team, and try and finish this one out as best you can. I am not envious of them, I'll tell you that much.
With all the loved ones of Ben Bramer top of mind, we play on with 8:50 to go. After the incompletion, second down 10. Betts hitches, comes off that first side. Now runs out of time and throws an interception right in front of the ASU sideline. It's a takeaway for Jordan Crook.
An incredible play by Crook, this linebacker core that we've talked about.
First down, Arizona State.
The heartbeat of this defense, and came up with a big one there. And you just saw Beck looked uncomfortable in the pocket the entire time. Couldn't find a window to cut it loose. And we mentioned coming back in after that long break and immediately having to walk into a big down and distance like that. Just a critical mistake from a quarterback who, man, you'd understand if he was a little rattled after that prior play.
Jordan Crook, the senior linebacker. His first interception puts the Sun Devils in command of this road trip, leading 24-19. And with the ball below the 30-yard line of Beck Cyclones. Sims takes it around the right side. Still free. That looked like it was going for a loss, and he just kept going around the right side for 4.
He did. We saw Josh Atkins, the left tackle, coming around again as his escort, and I think this home crowd was wondering if there was a little bit of holding, but we're seeing the replay in here in the stadium. Looks like he got his hands off in time. And all you need is a split second with an athlete like that running behind you. Get your hands on him for a quick moment and give him a seam.
An emotion-rattling moment here in Ames, followed by an interception by the Sun Devil defense. Sims swings it out. Malik Brown with blocks. Runs out of room on the sideline. Bridget, what can you tell us?
Yeah, thanks, guys. I talked with a member of Iowa State staff, and they said Benjamin Bramer is alert. It's more of a precautionary measure. They will be taking him to Mary Greeley Hospital here in Ames, but our thoughts and prayers remain with him and his family.
It's great news, and I'm sure as that news permeates the Iowa State sideline, a huge sigh of relief going to come over those guys who, even as you're trying to continue to play after that, I'm sure still thinking about their teammate.
Sims ready for third down and 6. Design QB draw. Fumbles! The Iowa State defense rising to the occasion. Bacon with the hits. Who's at the bottom of the pile? It's a Cyclone.
What a response by this defense. Sudden change both ways. Iowa State had been handed the ball off the failed fourth down conversion from ASU. ASU goes and forces a turnover going their way. And now what's been one of their most dependable plays. Tons of room. And that hit from the second level. Marcus Neal gets a shoulder into the football. just enough of it. Couldn't have timed it any better.
Unsportsmanlike conduct number 53, Iowa State, his first. That penalty will be enforced half the distance to the goal line. It's first down, Iowa State.
Looks like Trey Bell among those falling on it. Zamir Hawk with the foul after the play.
And that's a massive penalty in a game defined by them. That'll be the 18th accepted penalty in this game. And already down in opponent territory, and now getting backed up even further by the penalty in a game where field position's been at a premium. You just have to keep your composure in these moments after your defense steps up and makes that big play.
Arizona State came into today with only 2 giveaways in conference play. Sims has committed 3 today. That brings back onto the field. How many more opportunities will Campbell and company get? Trailing 24-19, 7:21 left. Hanson with great vision. Knocked off his feet after 8. Abney with the hit.
This is where they've been at their best all day long, getting the ball to Carson Hanson. And a lot of these at times can be RPOs. We've seen Rocco Beck pull it. You got to have the wherewithal at some point as a veteran to know, hey, the passing game's been inconsistent today. We've had issues. I need to let this be a run. And sometimes for the play caller, Taylor Mauser, make it a design run call. Take that decision off the quarterback's plate.
Look, the tight end's right. Here comes another one. Cooper Alexander in motion. Extend the run surface. Hanson behind his pads, through the hole, and first down yardage to the 27. Kendrick Breedlove with the tackle.
Counter run, you're going to get pullers coming from left to right on this play. For the kick out, great job by the tight end on the backside, getting a seal, coming inside.
Staying with it. This time the Sun Devils stand it up right at the line of scrimmage.
Jordan Crook once again showing up at the point of attack. Got his hands on that interception before, and we know they've already given away the points off turnover for the first time this year, but with the long field here, this is where you want to see them lean back into what's been a strength here, limiting the effect of the mistakes from your offense when the ball does go into harm's way.
Usama makes an appearance in the Cyclone backfield. He's offset left of Beck. Alexander motions to the widest left. Off the play fake. Beck tracked down from behind and sacked. Justin Watley. -10 and a long third down upcoming.
It's a great one-on-one win from Watley over here on the left side, matched up with James Neal, and just swipes down on that arm and gets over the top, shortens the edge, and pressure coming from the other side, so there's no room for Rocco Beck to step up.
Second of the season for him. Grass and mud in his face mask as he goes back to it. Timely screen here. Tripped up back near the original line of scrimmage. Gabe Burkle with the catch and run to bring the punt unit on.
Great read and react on that play. Looked like Jacob Rich-Kangaika recognizing the screen, tracing back, and getting at the feet of the defender. My bad, that actually looked like Anthony Cooper, one of the reserve defensive tackles on this team. So understanding the situation, making a play, and this defense standing up after the turnover to help their offense out.
Perkins and Sample will link up again. It's a low snap, but the punter has no trouble. After some hesitation, Sample decides to get away, and it rolls down to the 22.
Well, the Arizona State offense going to try and come back out and change their fortunes after a couple miscues. The fourth down. Missed passing attempt on the play action to Raleigh Brown out of the backfield. And then another designed rush for Jeff Sims on the day that ended in the fumble. The great hit by Marcus Neal coming out of the secondary. But both defenses making plays to keep giving their offense the opportunities. Someone's got to be willing, either in Iowa State's case, to make the game-changing play to come from behind, or if you're Arizona State here, this rushing attack, you've seen at times in the second half it's been close to shifting into that 4-minute offense. We're 4:19 left in the game right now. You want to see them put the ball on the deck as the rain's starting to come down here again and ride that out to victory.
As you see, Cyclones have 3 timeouts plus our 2-minute stoppage to use on defense as they look to win it back for Beck and the offense one more time. A 4-yard run for Sims. And they look for a road victory here in Ames.
Boy, and Jeff Sims got about every color on that jersey right now, and they put him right back to use there. Coming off a fumble on the last drive, and Kenny Dillingham, Marcus Arroyo sending the message again. We're going to need you to help us win this game the way that you have all day long.
284 rushing between Sims and Brown. Just those two, a season-high rushing total.
226 yards for Sims.
No mystery here. Trying to turn the chains and wind the clock. It'll be third down upcoming.
So if you're Iowa State on defense, you know what to expect here. We've seen in third and medium, third and long, they're likely going to spread you out, and they're going to make you tackle their big quarterback in space for a third consecutive down on this play. See if they're bold enough to go back to the pop pass. It almost worked for them on the last down. Here we go, 5 wide.
Including Brown. Of note here, Shimon Mateer is not on the field for the Sun Devils. He just came off. Play clock taken down to 6. Here's the snap and the QB run. He's got enough. First down, Arizona State.
Great vision by Jeff Sims on this play. We've seen it all day long. He hit a home run on the same thing, but he's going to make that cutback here behind the block as you get the tackle pulling. And to hit that down in the A-gap, that's what running backs do. Talk about this all the time, counter power. A lot of them are designed to hit in either A-gap. But to have a quarterback with the wherewithal and the reps today, historically in his career, to see it hit that. Impressive stuff from a guy who just fumbled and thought he may have given the game away on the prior drive.
And Campbell opts to keep all 3 of his timeouts for the other side of our 2-minute timeout. It's presented by the Wells Fargo Active Cash Card. 2 minutes to go, 24-19 our score. Arizona State and Iowa State down to the wire.
For the perfect present, the perfect place is your local Ace. This Christmas, get free assembly and delivery.
And learn more at fnapt.com. By Vanda Pharmaceuticals.
Being a champion means knowing when to work and when to reward myself.
Strawberry mango.
This is amazing. And with my Active Cash credit card from Wells Fargo, I earn a limited 2% cash rewards on purchases.
Really? You call this a workout?
I'm just taking a little break. Then I'll get back after it.
I'm messing with you. Actually, that looks really good.
Make it 2. With the Active Cash credit card from Wells Fargo, I earn a limited 2% cash rewards on purchases. Terms apply.
Sun Devils trying to stay in the hunt to defend their Big 12 title as they head into their bye week. Trying to send Iowa State to a 4th consecutive defeat. Back to the 2-minute timeout.
Speaking of timeouts, we were a little surprised we didn't see Matt Campbell try and use his on the plus side of that 2-minute timeout. The way we so often see, try and leave your offense a little more time. You still need this, but something to keep an eye on here is ASU tries to salt this game away.
And his 3rd start as a Sun Devil, all of them on the road. Can Jeff Sims overcome 3 giveaways? Nick Brown doing his part. A long way to go for 2.
Iowa State has called their first charge timeout at 1 minute 55 seconds.
For the announcement, first time out there as we check out our Coca-Cola play of the game, the 88-yard dash from the new quarterback of the Sun Devils.
Part of a 233-yard, 2-touchdown rushing attack. The big play that popped this open. They've been hammering away, slowly chipping on the design quarterback run until they finally broke through. That was back when his jersey was the normal color.
That's been a career day, and it's not been without the blemish. Forget the jersey, the mistakes have been plentiful. But ASU's in survive and advance mode. They know they have a favorable schedule on the other side of their bye, and for now, they're only a 2-loss team in the Big 12 picture.
Your team came into this game getting the bad news this week. Your starting quarterback was done for the year. Your best wide receiver was going to be out here, and they've still got a chance to win this in the 4th quarter. That's remarkable resilience from this team.
Sims and Brown, the 2 in the backfield as they have been all afternoon. 2nd down, 8. Cyclones hit it hard. Marcus Neal stepping forward again. Second timeout with 1:50 left.
Iowa State has called their second charge timeout, 30 seconds in length.
Obvious situations here. The defense doing a great job executing, just giving them a chance to keep it open. It's been the linebacker room and Marcus Neal, the setup there coming through. It looked like it could be Ryan that's Cooper Ebel coming through and kind of opening up the door, taking two blockers. And then Neal comes through to slam it shut. And this is what we talk about with 4-minute offense, right? Everyone in the stadium knows what both sides are trying to do. Trying to run the ball and salt it away, impose your will, make them use their timeouts. And so on 3rd and 8, you'll get a steady diet of that again. This is a spot where if you had a quarterback that was a little more comfortable passing the ball than we've seen from Sims today, you'd maybe get him on the perimeter. You'd maybe call one of those plays that we see from, Andy Reid and the Chiefs in the NFL all the time, where you give him a chance to really end it with a dagger in the passing game. I think we see Sims hold on to the ball here again and ride this out.
He's run for 233 and a couple of touchdowns. Does he have 8 more left in the tank? Jeff Sims, taken for a loss. Iowa State still has hope behind Bacon.
At 1 minute 45 seconds, Iowa State has called their 3rd and final charge timeout. This will be a 1-minute full timeout.
3rd and final timeout there, but Caleb Bacon, the captain, coming and trying to slam the door shut on that attempt to finish things off by Arizona State. But give credit to the ASU offense. They got 1 first down. They got to the other side of the 2-minute timeout. Now their defense that's been sturdy all day gets one more crack at Rocco Becht in this offense.
Huge punt here for Canyon Flora. Flora, the return man. Three personal protectors on that right side. The punting foot of the sophomore from Scottsdale. Good snap. Nearly blocked. Flora steps up from the 35. Well covered by the Sun Devils. No timeouts. 1:38 left. Cyclones need a touchdown from their junior quarterback, Rocco Becht.
7 career game-winning 4th quarter drives. Can he make it an 8th? Here down 5 late. You mentioned no timeouts, but under 2 minutes. So you get the ball out of bounds now, can stop the clock. You move the chains, same deal. Your quarterback fully aware of that and in his element. We talked before the end of the first half about how 2-minute offense can sometimes settle a quarterback down who's had a bit of an off day. Let's see if it does for Rocco here.
12 of 27 for 143 passing. Belt tie shotgun snap, drives with authority to chase so well. 13 on a drive starter and a confidence builder for those two.
Drops, penalties that took the touchdown off the board, all undone here in this moment.
And rush again. Eli Green shows up in crunch time.
Go back to the catch from Sowell here. That switch route from outside to in. Ball helmet high and 2nd and short here across the 50.
Gain of 8 leaves 2nd down and 2 in a stop clock situation. So well the motion man. Becht has a clean platform. Puts it on the hands of his tight end Burkle. He's cut down in space, but it's a 1st down to the 39.
Clock stops as they move the chains. Fresh set of downs, plenty of space if you do want to try and take a shot towards the end zone. But that Arizona State defense trying to put a lid on this, knowing it's got to end in 6 if Iowa State wants to win this. So keeping the lid up top.
Becht hits his back foot, clobbered as he throws incomplete. Watley bearing down in the pocket.
Watley, who had the sack a couple drives ago, been great on the edge. Coming from inside here, working against Trevor Bohr. Gets another clean win. He's been dialed in as a pass rusher this afternoon.
So far, it's been a scoreless 4th quarter. 1:06 remaining, no timeouts for the Cyclones. Dozen left on the play clock as Beck makes his adjustment. Carson Brown flipping sides. Deals middle. And it's Brown the catch. To the 30. Clock winding, less than a minute to go. A pickup of 9. Beck alone in the shotgun. Takes a knee-high snap. Short yardage and completes. Wanted to move the sticks and stop the clock, but Martell Hughes had other ideas on defense.
Was a little surprised we didn't see a quarterback draw there potentially. Only needed 1 yard, move the chains. Instead, another great play by Crook this afternoon, Hughes coming across and making the big hit.
If you were with us earlier, you saw the devastating scene when Ben Bramer, the Cyclones' leading pass catcher, who's having a career year, was carted off. Without him, they try to sneak for the first down and are denied that opportunity by Dillingham timeout.
State called their first charge timeout, 30 seconds and late.
So he's got 2 remaining and burns one here in a critical spot. Does that change your thinking if you're this Iowa State offense?
No, I don't think so. I think still quarterback sneak. Rocco Beck, well-built lower half, powerful player. We see this multi-tight end group. It's not quite the tush push that we see on Sundays from Philadelphia, but it can get close. You saw them lining up in that power eye where he was good, I'm sure, get an assist from that tight end group. And I think that's got to be it. Now with the timeout, you have a chance, if you're Iowa State, to go over on the sideline, know you're going to do that, and then have the next play called right away so you can get up, make use of the clock being stopped while the chains move, and try and get that off and conserve time.
Two of the most injury-depleted teams in the conference. Both came in with title aspirations and playoff hopes. Effectively, an elimination contest here. Comes down to 4th and 1, and Beck extends the game. Dillingham disagrees. First down.
Looks like Beck going to get up and clock it here.
Still waiting for the chain gang to get in place. Fourth down and 1 officially converted. It'll be 2nd down with 41 seconds left. Have-to-have touchdown for the Cyclones.
Good execution, 4th and obvious. Get the clock stop here now, and we see Burkle, the tight end of choice, on the field right now. 11 personnel, so 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end, trying to spread the field and find an opening for Beck to hit.
Eli Green in motion into the boundary. Hanson in the backfield. Rocco Beck shoots. And it's complete to the sideline. They wind the clock. Sewell giving ground as he goes out of bounds. 30 seconds and moving. 3rd down awaits as the Cyclones hustle. Beck needs a first down. Batted down instead. He'll have to convert on 4th again as Justin Watley is everywhere.
See right here the prior play and the catch. Abney on the tackle, and woof. Going backwards out of bounds. And then here, Watley continues his monster afternoon.
They just picked up 4th down with a sneak. This one they'll have to throw for. Beck to extend the game again. On the money. Is it enough? It's not. They mark it at the 20.
Previous play of the runner short of the line of gain is under further review.
And the outcome will come down to a review.
And JB, I think this is going to be a pretty quick review. The right play, as they bring him in motion. Sewell, who's been the target most of the day out there, they bring him in motion. He looks like he's going to go inside. So the switch there, he stutters off the line, but then catches and goes to the ground. And again, we know the yellow line's unofficial, but it looks like that backside for him and where the ball is hits well short of the first down.
Fans of this program here in Ames probably heard 100 times this week about how the Cyclones...
ruling on the field of the runner short of the line of gain is upheld. It's first down, Arizona State.
We're just an inch off, and at the end of this game, maybe a foot off. Kenny Dillingham does it again.
We highlighted it before, but it bears repeating. Coming into this game, getting the news this week that your starting quarterback, Sam Levitt, going to have surgery and end his season. Jordan Tyson on the sideline in street clothes celebrating, still nursing an injury, and they get to head into the bye week now feeling great after an unbelievable effort on the ground from Jeff Sims.
The Sun Devils' title defense is still alive. They're bowl eligible as they beat the Cyclones for the second time in 12 months.